Today is Friday the 13th, and I'm feeling that. For the last 20 minutes, there has been an incessant clicking noise from the frickin' floorboards down there. If you were around last stream, you could probably hear it then, and it was 10 times the amount now and just as loud. Why? Floor's haunted, yes. It's really Friday the 13th, it's Oyashiro-sama's curse striking again. I've now been cursing at Tifa to move the hell away from me as I grabbed spare towels from the bathroom because we have an excess of towels. I'll get to it in a moment. And I draped them in the corner where these stupid pipes are running through the apartment for the entire house. Because for some reason in Germany, when they built this shithole place, roughly 60 years ago I believe, they decided, let's put the pipes in that one room. Let's not make them go through the wall, that would make sense. Let's put them visible out in the open. That's really nice, which is great for us because if the people above us, besides us, if people in the basement would live there, but if somebody
if they would live there,
if anybody in this apartment complex turns on the heating, this room gets warm, which is nice for our energy bill, but also cozier, especially in winter, because there's always warmth here, always coming from this side. And 49% of it is Tifa, 51% is those freaking pipes. But that clicking noises. I've now tried to dampen it as much as I possibly could without delaying the stream any more than necessary. I get really unnerved by tiny things like this. I know I'm probably the only one that cares, but I'm sorry in advance. If I could get rid of it completely, I would. If I was a billionaire, I would build my own house and I would stream from a basement where it's always the same temperature, and something like this cannot happen. Welcome in, everybody.
So I wanted to start on a positive note and say thank you all for the birthday wishes yesterday. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, that also happened.
It was such a nice day.
Yeah, yesterday. I'm talking about today.
That's how I was gonna start it. But Jack's been in a shitty mood for the past hour because of the clicking noise.
For the past 25 minutes, I've been having all of these feelings only in the last 25 minutes. Welcome in, Dark Lord.
It's been a rough past hour.
Congrats on being second. Hello, Psycho. Congrats on being first. Welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. How are you all doing? Apartment complex seems pretty simple to me. Thank you. I needed that. That's genius.
Luckily, you've got a game to really soothe your nerves today.
Yes. Wait, soothe my nerves or soothe my nurse? Because I think you said nurse.
Did I? Well, regardless.
I cannot tell. Today...
I'm just with every click. I'm just waiting for Jack to complain.
I will try to ignore it from now.
Don't think you might have heard all of them, but there's like a click every 10 seconds, I want to say. Some a bit softer than the others.
It is seemingly random. And I've actually... If you remember old like Western movies and stuff, they would have somebody lay flat on the ground with their ear on the ground near the train tracks, or just randomly, and then they would go like, the train is approaching. Or especially with like Native Americans, kind of like, there's a group of Apaches coming to our location, something like this. And I did that on the ground behind all the cables and stuff. If I still have dust on my face somewhere, I'm sorry about that. Been trying to locate it. Soothe your nurses if you have them. Yes, you should. Nurses
they deserve it.
Doing the Lord's work.
Yeah, the only thing I can imagine is that you've started leaving the heating on in here.
Super hot tea.
I added cold water.
Okay. Not as much as last time. Almost burned my mouth. Yeah, something. And we haven't moved. You could tell from things looking different, and we would have probably talked about it, but this sound hasn't existed last year, as far as I'm aware, or any year before that.
Not as badly as it has been today. There has been a click.
something creaking every now and then, because you know when warmth happens or when cold happens, things expand or shrink. That happens, like plastic on your screen, like creaks, stuff like this. But not like, except in wood. Hey Tifa, how did you enjoy your birthday yesterday? I'm sorry. I have two options. Either I front load all of my feelings about this, and then I can address the fact that there's annoying sounds every now and then, and I'm not talking about my voice. Or I blow up like 75% into the stream, because like every time it clicks, like my internal meter just goes ding 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 ding. Honey, things get smaller when they're cold. Please explain that to me, Psycho, because I never had to say that. No, that is true. That is very true.
True that you never had to say that, or true that things get smaller?
There wasn't anything to get any smaller. And that's why I tell jokes on the internet. Are they smaller or just farther away? Dark Lord, in that case, both. One makes the other happen at the same time. No, but seriously, how did you...
I don't know if that got picked up, but now it's the screen and the floor alternating.
A few years ago, at this point, I think I would have started crying and just ended the stream. I'm sorry. No. It's life. It's life. What can I do?
It's probably gonna stay like that the whole stream.
It's gonna stay like this for every stream from now on, just out of spite. I need global warming to go faster so that we don't have winters anymore, so that the floorboards can't expand any further from being cold during the day and then heating up at some point. No, I was joking. Please. I would like global warming to be like reversed. Climate change, I should say, because otherwise people go, it's still winter somewhere. Just nothing to do with it. Tifa, please, could you finally answer my question? How did you spend your birthday yesterday?
I think we had a good day. I took the day off. We went on a little city trip. Went to another bigger city a bit away from here. Looked over some Christmas markets, which were really pretty.
Looked over? What do you mean?
Went over some Christmas markets.
We overlooked the Christmas markets in Germany. This is what we do on our days off. We go there and we tell them if they don't pay up, we'll just burn down their stalls.
I was kind of wondering, like, okay, it's probably gonna be busy as fuck at this time of the year, but maybe during the week when it just opens, it's not that bad. We just spend a few hours in the city, walk around, sightsee, and then go home.
We got up at 6 to get there at like 10. Because, she had the day off anyway, and Tifa for some reason really likes Christmas markets. I don't like them.
Walking over them, but it needs to be empty and not full and kind of quiet, but I feel like over the past few years it's gotten so much worse.
No.
But maybe that's just me.
No, not the last few years. Christmas markets have always been a thing, especially in Germany. You've got
with the fullness.
Yeah, but you've got world famous Christmas markets. There's the Striezelmarkt in Dresden, then there is the Nuremberg Christmas market. Cologne is really big. So like, it feels like in Germany every year, like the towns and cities try to like compete on who has the biggest Christmas market. Not necessarily the best, just the biggest. Because that brings in a ton of tourism. Like people fly to Germany, just like they do for like Oktoberfest and stuff, to go to Christmas markets. Which is cool, you know, if that's your thing, that's your thing, cool. But a few years ago, I don't know if you remember, a pandemic happened. Including lockdowns, where we were told you can't go outside, you can't like go in groups, you can't do any of this. And ever since then, when that stopped and people stopped being worried about COVID and they just accepted it as yet another thing you can catch when you go out there, that's when a lot of people went like, I haven't gone in 2-3 years because I couldn't because of COVID. Now I'm going to go. If you like look up Christmas markets on like TikTok and stuff, You showed me a video today from Prague.
Oh,
in the Czech Republic. No.
like that is no longer fun if you're just walking like a sardine and you can't even see anything.
People were standing like.
Which is why I think it's fine to go there like when they open, just have a look at what there all is. And then I'm good. I don't need to be there at night, don't need to go drink glühwein the entire
mild
evening.
hot wine.
Like all good. But
we could do a glühwein stream, by the way. We still have 2.5 bottles from last year.
Can think about it.
Mild wine stream?
I believe they started or they opened at like 11.
Yeah.
And at 11, for a second, it was like quite okay. It was completely empty. And then I blinked and like suddenly the streets were full.
Yes.
All of a sudden, empty streets.
People started pouring in from literally every direction.
It was so funny to see.
Which seemed impossible because from all the places where like public transport, like bus stops and stuff, you would expect people to come from. No, they just appeared in the streets. It's like when you play GTA and for some reason the NPC loading thing gets bugged and like first there's nobody and then suddenly there's everybody. It was a weird experience.
Yeah. It got full so fast. Absolutely unbelievable.
Thankfully, because we went during the week, not to the point where you were like all standing like skin to skin. That was my chair. Skin to skin and like, sorry, can I get through, please, sorry. It wasn't like that. It was busy, but it was not to the point where even if you enjoy Christmas markets, you would go, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, until we were going home and we took the route through the Christmas market again, then it was getting a bit too full for my taste.
Yeah. I had enough at 11:30.
Yeah, I mean, that is fair. You don't visit Christmas markets because it's full, don't because it's fucking expensive. That's yes though. But I don't need to buy anything at a Christmas market. Just walking over it, looking at the little lights and the junk they sell in the stalls is enough for me. I love
junk. I'm sorry, these people work for that. That's trinkets.
Trinkets, also good.
Tifa out here just casually offending like 50% of the people that go to Christmas markets to sell their goods. You know, it's like, yeah, I look at the food and the junk.
Yeah, that is true. I'm sorry.
I thought I'm supposed to be the douchebag.
I didn't mean to install the stalls, but you know what I mean. Trinkets that you don't really do anything with except for...
Little knickknacks, souvenirs.
This 1 week. But yes, like a glühwein. $8 for like 300 centiliters. $8! Like what the fuck?
A cup for normal people. A cup. Or if you want to be
like
really fancy...
It's like not even a big cup.
If you want to be really fancy, roughly 10 liquid ounces. And I know that because I know Starbucks. Because I make fun of Starbucks. And Starbucks uses venti. And venti is 600 something. And what she just said is half of that. So it has to be 10. Booyah, Kasha. Quick maths. Hello, Gaming Check. Happy Friday. How are you doing?
I do as well. But yeah, like what the fuck? And then people spent there all night drinking it. Like, no, I'm sorry. No.
I am so cheap. Occasionally, once a year, when it's cold outside, when it's cold inside, I feel like I would like a glühwein, a hot, mild wine. And then my first thing starts, it's like, which ones can I drink? Because not all wines are vegetarian, because sometimes they use gelatin. So I need to learn about this. Funnily enough, the cheapest, most common brand happens to be vegan, so good for me. So I buy a bottle, and then I drink 1 cup, and then I'm good. And then I'm stuck with the rest of a bottle. But good thing now we're 2 people, so it goes a bit faster. Because, you know, the stuff also doesn't last forever, like it's gonna go bad at some point.
Maybe we can have a cup tonight, after
Maybe.
stream.
That sounds like a good idea. So I buy a bottle that's like a liter for $2.99 last year. Haven't bought any this year. I think now it's $4.50 if it's not on sale.
It's not even still good. Now that you mention it, we bought that last year.
We can check. So let's say $4.50 now for a bottle, yes? Out of a bottle, I would imagine you can get 4 cups of the stuff at the stall at a Christmas market. And they charge anywhere, yesterday we saw between $3.50 and $8 for the same stuff. At $3.50 you already make money. At $8 it's disgusting. Like you get $25 out of a bottle for $4.50.
It is a massive market.
Yes, and people buy it.
Yeah, that's even worse. It was so full. The amount of money that must have been going around that market.
If you want to have the drinking hot mulled wine outside while being cold experience for a fraction of a price, buy a bottle, share it with your friends, pour it into single-use paper cups, and go outside of your house. Just stand in the cold at home. I'm at a loss of words. Like, money-wise, I just don't understand that. If some people want to treat themselves and go, you know what, I really enjoy this. I enjoy the atmosphere. I have the money. I don't mind spending that money. Okay, cool. But on the other hand, when these people do that, they drive up the prices for everybody else. Because as long as somebody is paying it, they'll just keep the prices like this.
People will keep paying it. Even if it's like $10, I have a feeling you will still have a crowd. Especially people who come for these markets. Like if you travel from much further away than we have. Yeah, the chance is high you're not just gonna go like, oh shit, I'm not gonna buy this now.
Yes,
you know what
but
I mean?
I'm sorry. That's the Disney World bullshit. Where they go, yeah, you know, people like do Disney World as like a once in a lifetime thing, so why don't we just not just have one park here, but like 6? And how about we make it so that if you want to go to all the parks, you have to pay even more money? And how about we make it so that there's lines and stuff? And you're gonna pay a shit ton of money. And when you get there, you're gonna pay more money. But you will do so because you just flew 18 hours from Tokyo to get to Orlando, Florida. And now you're here and you're not gonna come back next week. So you're gonna pay for the...
You're gonna splurge.
Yes, sometimes you're gonna splooge. Say it properly. What do you call those? A fast pass. So you will buy the fast pass to get on that ride. So you will try the $19 churros with chocolate sauce. Or you are...
I will starve.
Or you are going to drink the $10 Glühwein at the Christmas market because now you went there. You're gonna regret it if you don't. When are you gonna come back? But needing to even wanting to abuse the fear of missing out on people, I think is disgusting.
Yeah, it is, but that's what a lot of businesses run on.
Not this one.
Well, technically yes, because let's say this is the gaming industry, or even the streaming industry also runs on a lot of fear of missing out.
I was pointing at this as an us.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying, not us. No,
I don't think you know what I'm saying because I'm exclusively referring to you and me. You pay nothing to watch us except for whatever device you're using. And if you miss the stream at some point, it's going to be on YouTube where you can watch it for free. I mean, they have ads, but you know, you can watch it for free. Yeah. All it costs you is your time.
That is true.
Which, thank you for spending that on us. But
yeah, that's true.
You know, Twitch allows you to go, this stream is subscribers only. Pay to watch me.
I mean, yeah,
you can do that, but
you can put Discord channels or special services on behind payments, so you have the fear of missing out.
Introducing next year, my favorite letter is X+. You need to wire me $4.99 a day to be able to see my answers to your posts on Discord. No.
X Plus. Starting January, your face will be blurred unless you pay $5 a month.
Yes, it's randomly gonna delete like words from the message and it will only fully make sense if you buy the add-on. No, hell no.
Not like you guys, but not $4.99 a day.
You know what? Bankrupt. You know what? I also like us, but also not $4.99 a day.
Because you don't have a golden egg account.
Yeah, can you even consider yourself a fan at this point? No, that's disgusting. I can't wait to buy Jack DLC. Gaming check. That's very sweet, and I know you're joking, but if anybody actually would be willing to go there, I hope that person gets therapy, because you've lost control over your life at that point. No, please.
But yeah.
Just because you can't purchase something doesn't mean I think you should. Sorry, I went full hatred for capitalism. We were talking about your birthday. Fuck capitalism.
No, it's fine. All in all, we had a nice day. We had nice food. We had malatang for dinner. Basically hot pot, but
single player
for one person, which was nice.
Single player hot pot.
Yeah.
As the floorboards agree with me.
And we were gonna do actual hot pot. We have this super nice place which has a broth that will send you straight to heaven. But then I was like, okay, that will take a couple of hours. It's a small place, kind of cozy on the inside. There's probably someone who will be sick.
So instead we went to a different hot pot place.
Yeah, but it's
and guess what
bigger.
happened? The moment we sat down, somebody sat down in the corner thankfully on the other end of the room, coughing her lungs out. Lady, if you're watching this ever by any chance, fuck you.
Yeah, she was sick as fuck.
You were there with another person. You could have asked them to bring you food. Fuck you.
But then I was like, okay, you know what? We're gonna go to this restaurant. It's new. We wanted to try it out. It's a bit more spacious, tables spread from one another, and a one-person hot pot also goes a bit faster than the traditional hot pot, because you just pick your ingredients, they boil it for you, and then you basically get like a bowl, sort of like ramen. But yeah, then the exact same thing happened there too. But all in all, it was a nice thing. It was fun.
If it wasn't for the other people, it would have been great.
Yeah. Could have had less people, but you know.
Story of my life.
Same with everything.
We still need that Jack Dakimakura. Not gonna lie, I'm still looking at that every now and then, as in making that happen, because I would love to, just for the sake of it. If, I promise you this, if any of you ever find a place where you can have custom order to print to order, whatever it's called, Dakimakuras, please let me know. I will set up a Jack Dakimakura, and I will make it as affordable as humanly possible, because I don't need to get rich off that. I need it to exist. This is one of my life goals. Somebody in the world needs to buy a Jack Dakimakura. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. Not you. You have the real thing.
You said someone. Go away. I got my Dakimakura.
Thank you. Wow, first Tifa solo stream. She replaces me with a freaking pillow.
Basically.
Are you guys in Christmas mood already? I was until yesterday.
Oh, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Also, excuse me. I spent the past 2 days making homemade Christmas balls. You better be in a Christmas mood.
No, what Tifa just said is not against the terms of service of Twitch. She is making Christmas ornaments for, like, you know, like those ball thingies you put on a Christmas tree?
Yeah, Christmas balls.
Seasonal balls. Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant popcorn balls. That's a thing. Wait, what's a popcorn ball?
Popcorn in the shape of a ball.
Can I Google popcorn balls, or am I gonna find some weird stuff that I do not want to be looking at right now?
Virtual balls.
Oh, okay. So like popcorn with like caramel and stuff, so that they stick together, and then like a Rice Krispie thing.
I think it's like marshmallow stuff.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then you stick them into a bowl.
That makes sense. I don't like popcorn, otherwise I would probably love it.
I really like sweet popcorn.
Yeah,
I'm one of those small groups.
Nah, salty popcorn. Ew, why have a stream title and tags above the stream instead of below? Hello, mommy. Happy Friday. How are you doing? That's the new Twitch layout.
Wait, I need to look now.
Yeah.
Where are they?
You're in theater mode.
Exit.
There. I don't know why they did that. I think it's unnecessary.
Ew, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Now this is completely...
Yes. I agree. I don't understand why, like, YouTube and Twitch are my two biggest examples. Why they change the user interface regularly. Twitch less, I think, but YouTube, like, it feels like every 6 months. I don't understand why.
But this was so unnecessary. There was like no need to pull that up.
I have a strong feeling that the best friend of the nephew of the cousin of the CEO of Twitch is currently taking a course in user experience or UI design. And they just went through a course like, oh guys, did you know that the average human reads from top to bottom? So like, I prepared a 5-second pitch. Why don't we put the stream title at the top?
If anyone sees a vote on to undo this, let me know.
Yeah,
I'll make some new accounts.
Unnecessary. Sometimes things don't need to be changed. This was one of them.
Yeah, but especially since it's like in the same row as the title. Like now, it's all in one thingy. Why?
Yeah, and now you have this huge gaping hole in the overlay below the video on desktop. It's so stupid.
Like, could have stayed there.
It's almost like that huge gaping hole is there because there used to be text which would fill that up neatly. It's like somebody thought about that before they made it like that back then. Huh. What a strange concept.
Well, let me put that away again.
Twitch, please stop. Thank you.
My classmates were blasting Christmas songs in class to piss off his friend. He hates Christmas songs and isn't in a Christmas mood yet. Well, best way to get in the mood is by playing songs.
Last Christmas we got DMC8, and that's why I don't continue the song, because Ram needs the money. But my classmates decided to send 230 volt 50 Hz AC through their bodies for fun. That sounds illegal.
I have a hard time
high voltage.
imagining how much voltage that is.
That's roughly the voltage of you taking a fork and jabbing a power outlet.
Oh.
I don't think that's legal gaming, check. Unless you are in like a marine class where they train you on how to resist torture. I think. I'm not sure. I would not want that.
I'm more wondering, why does your classmate go to school with a taser?
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest question to unfold here.
We are electrotechnics. Okay, but just because you can tase somebody doesn't mean you should.
For some reason I thought...
You know, just because I'm holding this pencil doesn't mean I need to stab Tifa with it. I mean, I wanted to, that's why I did it, but... Okay, yeah, fair, I think I'm answering my own question. Also, Mommy,
yeah, that is dangerous as fuck though.
I saw it earlier, but then we carried on. Blue waffles are also absolutely real food items.
I burned myself on blue waffles once.
One day, I promise you, we're gonna do a live cooking stream. And I'm gonna whip out my waffle iron and we're gonna make delicious waffles. And just for you and everybody else that is as stupid as you and me, and everybody who enjoys this type of humor generally, I will put blue food dye into the waffle batter. Just so you can see me eat blue waffle fresh on stream. And then you can tell everybody that I did that.
Yeah, now you gotta stick to it. Because I've been trying to convince Jack to do a cooking stream in a while.
That is true. And then Tifa goes, okay, so let's do next Sunday. And I'm like, okay, Tifa, so how do you set that up? And she's like, just bring the camera. And I'm like, okay, so you have a 20-foot cable. We don't need a cable, just use your camera. Okay, how do we connect the cable to the stream? How do other people do it? I'm like, I do not know. I haven't asked them.
Because you make everything sound impossible.
Yes, impossible for me. Because I don't know how to set it up.
Stream from your phone.
Okay, and how do I see all of the wonderful people and what they're typing in chat?
On the other phone or the tablet that you can put on the table.
So you keep holding the phone. to
Are you saying we don't have holders? Like, this is what I mean. We have holders. The tablet in front of us is in a holder. We have a tripod thingy somewhere, which I don't even remember. We have a phone holder. We have stands. Like, there are so many things that thing can stand against.
Okay, so you want the camera for the cooking stream to be on the same level as the tablet in front of you. So it's gonna keep...
We have planks, we have cupboards, we have things on a slightly higher level, like there.
You have stands? Psycho? Yes, that's why I'm Jojo posing during the breaks. While it's true that I do have a tripod, it is this tall. I cannot get a good angle in our kitchen with that. So no, not yet.
We've been having this discussion for like 3 years, and every time I'm like, you know what, leave it. But now you said it. Now you have to plan it in a reasonable amount of time.
What's reasonable?
Within half a year.
No, that's not reasonable. Not for a project like this. Yes, see, you are talking so much bullshit, even the technology rejects you. No. Or you can fold the title card out so it's laid out just like it was before, Game and Text under the title instead of now it's above the stream and covers part of the stream. Revolutionary!
Yeah.
Mame, thank you for doing what the testers should have done before they rolled this out.
For $4.99 a month, you can have it under the stream again.
Yes, please buy the monthly subscription to the Twitch retro layout. It's only $6.99 and then this goes back to where it used to be.
They're gonna make it a part of, what's the subscription
Nitro?
called? Turbo? No, Nitro is Discord, I think.
Turbo, yeah.
Turbo, to convince more people.
Jack Stand, Hallo Bimmerbahn. I don't know what a Bimmerbahn is, but that
sounds kind of cute.
It sounds adorable to me, and therefore I like it. Or Mame's version, Rammsteine. I might be the only German that does not at all like Rammstein, the band. I don't like them one bit. No.
No, it's...
No.
I was doing the creaking floor. But...
No, it's creaking floor! Oh, sorry, no, it's...
Du hast.
Yes, but with an extra S, as in I hate.
Du hast mich.
Du! Yes. It's very, very popular in Czech Republic somehow. Yeah, I understand a lot of people like them. I absolutely do not.
Rammstein?
Yeah. I do not like their music, and I actively dislike the lead singer. I just don't like him.
I'm okay
and
with
that was
music.
Even before all the allegations against him.
But yeah, the band itself has gotten a bit shady, I suppose.
A little bit?
Well, I haven't read everything on it.
I'm not getting the Jack DLC. Good thing, for $49.99 you can buy the Tifa DLC.
And you can buy both for $6.99.
If you buy both, it's cheaper.
It's the package deal.
We need to stop talking about this. At some point somebody's gonna make that a thing. And then we'll be to blame. Kraftwerk, I couldn't name a single song. It's techno, right? Or electric music? I don't know. I
Which band?
Kraftwerk.
Oh, that's the band.
Yes.
Do not know them.
Kraftwerk is also what you call a Kraftwerk, which is like a power plant. So, I also interact with those very little. Ever heard Du hast Way Too Happy cover? No, not once. I dislike Rammstein so much I also wouldn't listen to a cover. Simply because it's still their music in the end. So, Genghis Khan? Yes. Genghis Khan is okay. Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan.
I feel like I've heard it.
Yes. Every 31st of December when we spend the time at my grandparents' place and somebody puts on classic music to let the year ring out to, at some point there's Genghis Khan. You get it. Google it, look it up on YouTube. It's a good song. It's catchy. He doesn't even know about Die Roboter. No, I do not. Sorry. What can I say? What I do know about though is this one giving you beautiful recaps or not so beautiful. Tifa, what has happened the last time we played Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 3 Tatarigoroshi?
The last time we have played, we somehow managed to get away with murder because we were found in the woods by Ooishi and his crew trying to dig up a body which was not there, so they had no reason to arrest us.
Ooishi and his crew, aka the police. He and his gang, yo.
So we were all good there. We have... what was the next bit again? I'm not sure what happened in between this bit and the hospital.
After that, we went home. Then the next day...
I remember. We went home and the next day we were like, okay, he's still alive. There's no body, so obviously something must have gone wrong. So we're going to just kill him again.
Not just kill him again, we're gonna kill him until he's dead.
We're gonna kill him until he's actually dead this time.
Because he has come back once. So if he does it again, I'll just kill him again. And again, and again, and again,
exactly.
and again.
We murder him dead.
Yeah.
So we found an axe in the shed.
A hatchet.
A hatchet, an axe. As if any of us would see the difference.
An axe. You grammatically challenged wonderful person.
A hatchet. And we went to...
the Hojo house.
The Hojo house. It was still very early, just before school, so we weren't really sure if... What's her name again?
Satoko.
Satoko was still going to be there. We went in, the house seemed kind of empty. It was also a bit of a mess.
But there were also some noises.
And we found out that someone was using the bath. It was steamy, it was warm.
The pipes were creaking.
Someone was in there and we found Satoko in the bathtub, almost knocked out. And it seems like she was in there for a while already because the water was burning hot, her skin was all red.
Single player hotpot once again.
So we took her out.
For cannibals.
What?
Nothing, carry on. If a person boils to death in a bathtub, technically it's cannibal hotpot.
Is the bath water than a broth?
Technically, yes. It's illegal broth. But yes.
Illegal broth. Okay, sure. Whatever. So we took her out of the bathtub, realized she needed help and we should bring her to the hospital. So we wrapped her up in a towel and started carrying her to...
Yes. Yes.
To the hospital. When we were there were several police cars outside and we did, of course, the reasonable thing instead of carrying her inside.
Keiichi decided to just carry Satoko to the hospital because the hospital is actually nearby Hojo house apparently. Plus, he believed that if he just called an ambulance, that would take longer than him carrying her there. He thought about that.
He did actually. So we did the reasonable thing when we saw all the police cars outside. We did not go in. We ditched Satoko in the bushes.
We unequipped her in a safe spot in the shade by just laying her with the bushes.
And went to eavesdrop on the situation.
As you do. As you do.
With the police. Turns out they actually found Dr.
Takano-san.
Takano. No, not
Oh,
Takano.
no,
that's the nurse.
Takano was already confirmed to be dead. Irie.
Thank you.
Allegedly committed suicide by sleeping pills. Allegedly.
Allegedly. We do not know.
Yes.
So once again, someone we have cursed has been found dead.
And not only that.
What?
Then it kept going.
I don't know where you're going at, so finish it.
Ooishi is also missing.
Oh, that came at the end, yeah. Ooishi also turns out to be missing. We do not know where he is. Don't know if he's dead yet. People are out looking for his car. Then
No, they found the car. They haven't found Ooishi.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, fair. Whatever works. So it could be that now 3 people who we wished for dead actually died, with the exception of the one we actually want dead, who seems to be evading us. But regardless, we now have some kind of superpower to have people we wish for dead.
You know who I do actively curse to die a horrible death? Capitalism. You're welcome, everybody.
Satoko was already feeling a little bit better. She came up to us and asked us, hey, what's going on? You know, I'm standing here naked, wrapped in a towel.
We need to put more emphasis on this. So, the now semi-conscious, stark naked, but wrapped in a towel, Satoko gets up on like wobbly legs, comes over to Keiichi, eavesdropping, goes, what's happening? And he goes, Irui-san killed himself. That was a kind way of telling her.
Yeah, it wasn't really the best thing. Satoko, feeling a bit uncomfortable in just her towel, also was like, oh, I can't go inside just like this. So I'm gonna walk back home, put on some clothes, and then I'll go to the hospital.
And the way back to Hojo house, they used for Keiichi to have a little conversation with her and go like, hey, yeah, I think I caused this because I feel like I have a superpower to wish death on people. And
well, he first said he thought he killed Irie because he confessed to having a fight with him, which did not end well. So he thought that was the reason he committed suicide.
And he said he wished he would die.
Exactly. Yeah. Satoko was like, of course, that's not going to be on you. Doubt a little fight like that would commit him this fact. And then he was like, well, I also wished for this and this person to die, and one has been burned alive and the other is missing, possibly dead. So there must be something.
Also, I was in two places at once because you know, when everybody said we went to the festival and I was there and I had fun and we had this whole like scene about this earlier. Yeah, I wasn't there. I want to talk about your uncle. And Satoko's like, no, we don't. But Keiichi goes like, no, I need to talk about your uncle. Satoko's like, no.
Long story short, he confessed to killing her uncle. And Satoko is like, well, obviously you're a bit confused. I don't believe you because he's alive.
But Keiichi said, no, I killed him. I did this there and then. I did do that.
She wasn't feeling all too comfortable anymore, so she wanted to just be alone for a bit and decided to go to Rika's house instead of straight home.
To get help, probably.
We followed anyway because we wanted to drop her off at the hospital at least to make sure she's safe.
Keiichi went, no, you have to listen to me. I didn't do it. Like, I'm not the bad guy. You have to hear me out. And
no, that's not true. That was not here. When we were at Rika's place, we
never made it there.
Almost at Rika, it was outside. We found something, which was Rika's stark naked body who had her intestines missing and pulled from it.
Rika, formerly covered in a trash bag apparently, which got ripped open by a bunch of crows, was then revealed to us, ritualistically killed, you know, Watanagashi style, cut open, entrails.
So obviously both of us were a bit upset by that, and that's when Satoko noticed the axe hanging off of our belt.
Still in our belt, because where else would you put it in?
And that's when Satoko started suspecting us of killing Rika. And that's when Keiichi went into the whole like, hey, you have to believe me, this wasn't me. I did not kill Rika.
No.
Like, yes, I wanted to kill your uncle.
But that's for good reason, right? I mean, I only killed your uncle like once and he got away from that, so that's not really that bad. But I did it for you because I wanted to see you smile. And like the other three people, well, fuck them. But I only killed one guy and it was for good.
Satoko, obviously not believing us, starts running away. We start following her and we end up on this like super wobbly bridge where...
A suspension bridge.
We start talking to one another and it basically ends up with Satoko pushing us off the bridge.
Satoko went super smart. She was like, first of all, don't come near me. Drop the hatchet, put your hands behind your head, turn around, you know, trying to disarm the immediate danger. Then we had a little conversation about this. Keiichi's like, no, I didn't do anything wrong. I mean, why are you even scared? Like, And then Satoko did the right thing, I would say, and tried to push him off of a bridge.
Not just tried, she did. We fell off the bridge.
Keiichi fell but grabbed onto one of the ropes, and then Satoko did the next right thing and she made us let go.
So long story short, she pushed us off of the bridge. We fell. But it seems like we actually survived because we still have a little bit of text after falling towards our
And Tifa skipped something that I believe will be very important at some point, because as Satoko was crying her lungs out and trying to have Keiichi fall from the hanging onto the bridge, she was talking about that she has seen this before. She has seen the look that Keiichi had on his face before. So she's been through something like this before. It's not explicitly been said what that was. I'm guessing maybe it's Satoshi, but something has happened before.
No, we did get in a little bit of background story on how when she was younger she broke into the ceremonial house which we've also been in chapter 2, I believe it was. And she got caught, but the father of Rika thought that Rika...
The grandfather.
Oh, the grandfather of Rika thought that it was a joke and Rika locked her in there.
Because Rika is the only one who has access to the key.
Exactly, but Satoko actually went through a window into there. So Rika got punished for it, and Satoko believes that she got cursed by... I forgot the name again.
Ooishi.
Not Ooishi.
Oyashiro-sama.
Oyashiro-sama.
Yes.
Because of the break-in. So now everyone she loves is slowly being punished, slowly being killed off, because if Oyashiro-sama truly curses you, he will go after your friends and loved ones first, before he will slowly kill you.
Correct. And Satoko, being like this 10-year-old, formerly almost cooked, still running around basically naked with a towel around her, having just found the dead body of her best friend, I would have broken down. I would have been like, you know what, just put the hatchet here, just make it clean, make it fast. Satoko pushes him off of there, keeps shaking the bridge, trying to make him drop down to his death, and she goes, no, you're not gonna get me, I will fight back. I was so proud of that girl. To be that defiant in the face of seemingly inevitable death. To not just go, yeah, whatever, it's over, I lose. No. To stand there in this state, in this situation and go, fuck you, God, I win.
Well, she didn't say I win, she just...
No, but I carry on, I keep going, I don't lose, I don't just sit down and wait for it to be over. I keep fighting. So right now, I win.
So yeah, it's been interesting.
Yeah,
looks like we survived falling down, so no clue what state we're in, what the next step is. Who killed Rika?
Not us, hopefully.
Yeah, it could actually be.
Keiichi did that off screen.
We don't have everything on one line anymore.
What?
We don't have all events on what's happening straight.
Oh, one timeline.
Yeah,
fair enough.
It could be that he did and he doesn't even remember, which is exactly what Satoko told him as well. Like, how can I believe you didn't call Rika when you don't even remember going to the festival and doing these things?
Yeah, that's true.
So who knows? Could be. And that's where we are.
That's correct. He's not manifesting it right. Apparently. Yeah, something like that.
Something went wrong. Can I press the button?
Keiichi.exe has stopped working. No, you don't get to press anything. Okay, now you can.
It was over there the entire time.
Yeah, and now I double check, now I confirm, now I can press a button, please. Fun streaming with another person in it. Load. Don't be the change you want to be in the world if it means killing people. Yeah, It's complex, isn't it?
It really is. And I want to say I'm against that statement.
What do you mean you're against the statement? Be the change you want to be in the world, you're against that?
No, be the change you want to be in the world. Oh, if it means killing people. But it says don't be.
Yes.
I think for some changes in the world, you might need to take that step. We wouldn't have gotten rid of dictators, for example, if that is the case.
I'm a pacifist. I will probably forever remain a pacifist, so I do not agree. But, unfortunately, the French a few hundred years ago did some things with guillotines, and that brought about change. I would like it if people saw reason before it went that way. I would like that.
I would like that too. I am totally in favor of peaceful revolutions. Don't get me wrong, but the chance of a peaceful revolution is a bit smaller than certain other things. Should there be a line? Yes. Is it hard to pull a line? Yes. Do I say you need to kill everyone you don't agree with? No. But do I fully 100%
Why did you say
not
everyone?
Agree? Because that's where you kind of pull a line.
The thing is, I've had this philosophical debate with Tifa many times in my life, and I know what she's trying to say, but I feel like right now she's not doing a great job. And it's kind of funny for me to watch.
Well, I still stick to my point. Do I fully agree with the statement? No. But do I, like I said, do I believe you should kill your neighbor if you have an argument about something because you don't like the way he looks at things? Also no. Like, it's hard to pull a line somewhere.
Don't be the change you want to be in the world if it involves killing people in your small town, unless you're...
And then that already comes a bit closer, I suppose.
I still disagree with that. Let me try to rephrase it into what I think Tifa is trying to go for, even if she's not doing a great job right now. Let's be real, everyone has a few potential names for a Death Note. Yes, I think so too. I think that's human. But thinking about something like this and actually doing it are two very different things. So that's the first thing I want to say. The second thing, I remember 9/11 happening. I remember watching it. I remember where I was when I heard the news. In the car on a highway going home after going on a shopping trip for groceries. And I remember how big of a deal it was when the news broke that the US had found Bin Laden and killed him. I personally would have preferred it if they brought him in alive, if he would have stood trial. I also don't believe in the death penalty. But it exists. And it exists in many countries for many different reasons. I think it was... Fuck. What YouTube video did I see yesterday? I had it on when I went to bed, when I went to sleep. I think it was Josh Johnson. He set it up as a joke and he's doing it way better than I can, but you know how we have serial killers in the world? People that go out and they murder somebody and then they murder another person and then they get caught at some point? That's when we learn about them, really. What about the person that gives the lethal injection for the death penalty? Or the person that flicks the switch with the electric chair? Isn't that person also a serial killer, except they get away with it?
No, that's just work. If you are a serial killer and you would like to do that,
so wait, if I'm
an
an assassin, then it's just work too. If I'm a hitman. Come on, that is authorized by law.
Yeah, like this is an argument you're not really gonna win, but where I am going to, it's kind of the same. You're saying that was war, which is also kind of where I'm pointing to. You cannot, in every situation, have a peaceful revolution. Like, if you go back to World War II, for example, with Hitler, do you think a protest would have stopped the war? No, I doubt that.
No, people have tried that.
No, that's what I'm saying. So in that case, if you wanted to change, it might involve killing people. Like, you're not gonna get a change, or that change would not have happened without.
Let me try to phrase. I can phrase my version like this. Unfortunately, some issues aren't being solved by reason and discussion. So, I don't like it, but...
Talking about world-changing things here, right? Like, not the fight with your neighbor. let me make that sure. I'm not saying you should kill your neighbor. Or your friend, teacher. I'm just saying, like, neighbor. It's not just limited to neighbor.
I don't know if you could hear or if you could see that. But
I knew someone would say, like, oh, so I can tell.
It just kicked in for Tifa how she is being perceived, and her body was reacting to it. She was trying to use her hands to gesticulate, and she was like...
I expected someone to then go like, oh, so I can't kill my neighbor, but that means I can't kill my cousin. Or like the one across the street.
Tifa said it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's clear what I'm trying to say here.
Also, last thing. Just because something is authorized by a country's law doesn't mean that I morally agree. That's one of the reasons why I'm against the death penalty. Again, like... whether you're for or against it, I have to accept that. I'm saying I'm against it. And I don't like state-sponsored, authorized by law killings. I would much prefer it if there would be life sentences for these people. And maybe you can find some way to make these people still do good. And even if it is just you're being sent to a place where we send you down into a quarry and you will hammer away at rocks for the rest of your life. So for the next 50 years, you'll be using this tool that you cannot use to kill yourself or anybody else with. So you're not going to make your situation worse.
You're going to use... wait.
That's exactly what I just said that.
Use this pen, because with this pen you cannot.
No. Under supervision, and I understand the costs of that would be enormous, but the rest of your time on this earth that you have will be used for good. Even if that is, I don't know, cleaning up trash off of a road. I don't care. But you've done incredibly bad things, incredibly heinous things to humanity, and now you will pay back. Some way you can. That's how I would do it. But I'm not a government, so...
I do see your point, but you already know from when it comes to these things, we have very different political opinions. I'm in favor of the death penalty, just not in the current state we have it, or not we.
We don't have it.
Some countries
Germany doesn't have one.
Because I also don't agree with sentencing someone to death, then waiting 50 years, and then at some point...
Yeah, I don't get that. You would think it's fair. Like if as a system, you've made the decision this person will be dead. We decided this person has been sentenced to death. Why wait years? Yeah. I understand there needs to be time for like legal reasons, like you need to be able to appeal the case and stuff. But after that has run its course, why wait that long? I don't get that part. Because if you then hold somebody in a cell for 50 years...
It seems kind of pointless.
Why not do what I'm saying and make them go pick cigarette butts off of a highway?
Yeah, but I also see the problem with having a death penalty and like immediately executing it, because the law system isn't flawless. There are too many people that are still being sentenced innocently.
Yes.
And then... yeah, you can't really undo a death penalty.
Exactly.
So in that regard, I also get it. Like, it has to be a 100% certainty that someone has actually done whatever.
Yeah, good luck getting 100% certainty in any case. Some people are irredeemable monsters and some people need a deterrence. Unfortunately, despite everything I said, I agree. I do. So, like, that's what I'm saying. I don't like it, but I also get it. You know? Like, I understand why it's a thing. I understand why for thousands of years humanity has decided this is the right thing to do. I don't like it, I don't agree, but I understand it.
I have no clue when they stopped with the death penalty in the Netherlands. Death penalty...
We're learning something today. If court has enough proof to sentence to life in prison, you have enough proof for the death penalty.
Only since 1983 did we stop sentencing people to death.
That sounds about right. Yeah. That's not something that has happened too long ago over in Europe and most countries. That's a relatively recent invention, I want to say.
What about Germany? West Germany was 1949.
Yeah, so after World War II, when the Allied forces took over.
And East Germany in 1987.
Okay. Yeah, so 80s again. No. We wouldn't have drug dealers selling fentanyl to teenagers if they get the chair.
No, I think most drug dealers are forced into it, maybe, so you might also catch the wrong people there.
No, I think the issue is... It's too complex. Listen.
It's a complex
thing. If I could solve the issue, I would. I think.
I don't think we're going to come to a solution.
It would be the right thing. But you can spin this example with drug dealers. So, person gets into dealing drugs, and then they do a thing, and then people die because that's what happens sometimes. Now, you go after the drug dealer, and then the drug dealer goes, well, I was forced into this. I grew up in the wrong neighborhood. They grabbed me and they told me either I work for them or it's my family. So what could I do? I'm not saying that happens to everybody, but I'm saying that has happened before. So then you go after the people above them. And if you look at all the stuff happening in Mexico right now, well, I would like that to come to an end too, but I don't know. It's a big stack of hay, and there is a lot of needles in there. I don't know. I would like all of them to get out.
It's a complicated thing. I wouldn't let the death penalty be a simple thing. But I would, when there is 100% certainty, when you know there is a serial shooter, for example, that has killed, like a school shooting, for example, you know who the shooter is. Like, that's a clear choice, if you ask me.
Well, let's make this about Keiichi. Again, you know, like the legality of it all, that's out of a question because that's the law. You can read up on that. But what Keiichi did, do you think that is morally justifiable? I don't like it, but I understand why in this situation somebody would choose to do these things.
Morally, yes. Would he need to be, or would that go unpunished? No. Would it deserve the death penalty in this case? I would also say no.
But if you morally agree, why punish him?
Because unfortunately you need to set a line. You can't just say, hey, this person is a dick, everyone gets to pull justice into their own hands and kill everyone. I have grown up with, what do you call that?
With hands. Their hands.
No, I lost the English word. Household abuse. And I do domestic abuse, that's the word I was looking for. And I absolutely do not condone it. Do I believe they deserve to die from a personal point of view? Yes, I do. But then every murder will end up with, oh, this guy was a dick. This guy did this. This woman did that.
No, listen. You're spinning it out again. Let's talk about this individual case. Not about, when other people will use the same defense. That's not the point. Do you believe or do you not believe that Keiichi was morally justified in killing Teppei?
Hard question. I want to say...
Yes, but you already said yes. But when you go...
morally, I stand with it. Yes. Do I believe Teppei deserved to die? Yes, I absolutely do.
Now I'm going to do what I just blamed you for.
But you also cannot let Keiichi get away with this.
But doesn't morality affect the laws? Now, I'm not talking about... I don't know how I only know what I know about Japanese laws by ways of Ace Attorney 1. That's all I know, right? And that's Japanophobia. It's like fictional Japan. Just because if I would argue, if enough people believe something should be lawful or unlawful, then that will inform public discourse, and that's going to change who is going to get elected into positions where they can change these laws. Therefore, the moral answer, or your moral answer to whether thing X was justified or not, might actually affect the law.
Yeah, but that's why this case will go to court. And it will be looked at it from that point of view.
And then 15 years later, a lot of people that played Higurashi Chapter 3 will get into government jobs, and they will actually change the laws to make the Keiichi case not be punishable. I don't know if that has actually happened ever, but it could theoretically happen.
I mean, it could.
Well, if the law can't protect Satoko from her uncle, he got guardianship after abandoning her, and the social worker just believed him that he repented, what's the solution? CPS should not have let Teppei take custody of Satoko again. I agree. Yeah.
I agree, even though that is also a really rough case, especially since Satoko lied about it once.
Allegedly.
I'm saying, didn't she also say that herself? No, we heard that from
I'm saying
Rika.
Allegedly because unless we actually get a scene that is 100% confirmed to be an objective reenactment of what happened from every angle, I don't believe anybody's accounts in this story. Especially not when Chapter 3 puts you into the perspective of Keiichi and him becoming so unhinged. This is a reminder that if you witness the story of a certain, or through the eyes of a certain character, it will be heavily skewed by their own emotions.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is the same with if you watch a show with a bad guy and you start to see all of his reasoning, all of his feelings, all of the emotions on why he does it. You're like, oh, I like this guy. I hope
he's the protagonist,
he wins,
so he has to be the good guy. No,
the moment emotions are involved, that's normal.
And Ryokishi was a social worker. Yep, that's true. Ideally, but on the passive side, they can't prove he shouldn't have custody. I agree with you, Psycho. Abandoning custodial duties for a year to do God knows what should warrant not getting any custody. This, to me, also seems like a case of a failure of the system. Yes.
Are you saying Keiichi could be an unreliable narrator?
Yes.
More and more, but still.
I think unreliable narrator is the proper term to use here. I don't know if I would consider him unreliable so much as unhinged. But yes.
But this is a hard case. I wonder, I have no clue if that actually could, but I wonder if in this case it could go into the books as self-defense. Because technically it's not self-defense because you weren't the victim.
Self-defense usually also relies on in the moment.
Yeah, you didn't plan it. It's
premeditated. Keiichi, we literally watched Keiichi spend a day daydreaming about how and when and why and what. That is not in the heat of a moment.
True.
No. Closest we got is Ken Akamatsu, the guy who wrote Love, Hina and Negima, being in the diet. Okay. Shocking. I mean, happy for him. Hope he's doing well. Politics are an old man's game in Japan. Aren't they almost everywhere? Unfortunately. I sure love people that have absolutely no common ground with the average person in a country to be making decisions on their behalf. I just described 99% of the world. It's sad.
I mean, if you show 1 million people what Teppei does to Satoko, how many need to vote for him to get the chair?
Yeah. I don't have an answer to that, but I think that's a very good question to ask. Also about the morality of any legal system. Because you can make the case both ways, I want to argue. Like, I get your position, and you have a compelling argument to me. I would probably vote yes in that case, that he does get the chair. I don't like it. I don't want to, but...
Because it's an emotional thing.
Yes.
But with the death penalty, it better be a unanimous thing. Like, let's say it's 51% versus 49%.
Wait, why can 51% of a vote decide a government, but not a case like this?
That is also a very good point.
Why can 50.1% run a company, but not decide this case?
I think the difference here is a bit harder to explain, but...
So you're saying a company like Nestle stealing water from impoverished communities, condemning them to horrible things is okay because it's a company?
No one said that's okay because it's a company.
No, but...
And they should also be punished for it. Like that, you can't really compare the situations. I'm going to just stick to the government thing. And that's because you're never going to get an entire country to unanimously vote for one person.
Right now in America, something happened where unanimously a large majority of a country would let somebody probably go free for killing somebody. I'm just saying, like...
Then that will be the vote society.
Again, I'm not objective. I don't have the answers. I don't think anybody is necessarily wrong for thinking something else than I am about this. But
you're talking about the healthcare CEO,
Luigi Mangione. Yeah, like I feel like morally, every country should really look at their laws and how they're being implemented, and like how they are being kept up, because...
Yeah, but it's such a complex thing. I don't think you're ever going to find
Okay, but then make it less complex.
You're ever going to find a foolproof solution.
Why is it okay for a health care company to effectively kill people or let people die because it's cheaper?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. That shit should have been illegal as fuck.
I mean... I already saw some insurance companies rolling back on not paying anesthesia, etc. So the deterrence works. Why was it necessary?
And then you kind of go back to the, if you want to make change, you might want to kill someone. This dude, I'm gonna say, took one for the team, and I'm sorry for saying it in this way, and somehow has started a change.
Yes. This is kind of what I was expecting the conversation to go to ultimately, because I was going to come up with that example at the end. Again, I do morally. I do. Hello, Skinner. By the way, happy Friday. I do not agree. I do not. Skinner. But I see it. I can't do anything about it. Humans are stupid. Even me. I mean, me less than some people, but no. Not sure if it's actually the guy. Yeah, true. Okay. Allegedly, he did this.
Didn't he already confess?
No. You are the last person that should be talking about any current issues because you don't read the news. No, he didn't. The person who shot the CEO. That person. Let's put it like this. Whether his name was Luigi Mangione or something else, it doesn't matter. The person who did this caused a change immediately.
That was a big ripple.
By doing that. And I would have loved it if that was never necessary. If just enough people are going like, hey, this system is bullshit, can we just have universal healthcare? Like, can we just do what other countries are doing because it works in those countries?
This is the perfect example of where peaceful protests don't mean shit.
Yes.
Because peaceful protests against the healthcare system has been going on for so long and nothing has changed.
Tyrants only understand violence, unfortunately.
And I'm not saying this is an American problem.
No, it's everywhere.
This is everywhere because in Europe, I believe we do have a better healthcare system, but the healthcare companies are still complete and utter shit.
Yes.
Like, there should not be profit made in healthcare.
Yes, I agree.
And those are billion-dollar industries worldwide.
Trillions. Also sit like a human.
I'm
talking about healthcare. Sit.
I boycott Big Pharma by not going to the doctors.
Skinner, the timeline doesn't match up, but are you my reincarnated grandfather? Because that's his logic. I hope you do go to the doctors, at least when you feel like you need to, because that's what they're for. Now, let's find out what's happening to Keiichi.
Let's find out.
I don't want to like kill off a conversation, but ultimately, I don't think we will get to an answer that works for everybody. And also, Keiichi is still falling or laying on the ground. I don't know. And I want to find out what happened to him.
I think he fell. And it's just laying somewhere broken. But yeah, interesting discussion, interesting topics. But I think that will be a problem for as long as humanity is here.
Close your ears.
Oh, ears. Why would I close my ears?
It's like my dad sitting in the car. Turn the radio lower. I need to park the car. Like, why do you...
Well, that's a concentration thing. Now I have my ears closed.
Spoilers for Cowboy Bebop. Give you a few seconds warning. We take another sip.
Can I open them?
Mm-mm.
Oh, why do I need to close them? Wait, I'm getting suspicious. Why do I need to close them?
Shut up and don't listen.
I want to know first.
Don't listen. Is this gonna be like the end of episode 24? Where
you speak to
where
loud.
We... You're bad at holding your ears.
I'm hearing you through a slight daze.
Is this gonna be like the end of episode 24?
No, I actually can't hear you.
Where this is his last moment. Thank you. Wait, hold up. Tifa. No, she hasn't.
No, I have.
No, you have not.
Yes, I have. At least the first few episodes.
Yes, exactly. So, no, she hasn't.
It wasn't my thing.
Maybe I would figure it out faster if I pressed the button. Yes. I'll go with what I think, which is what I just described. My pain was gentle or merciful.
It wasn't. Here it makes a difference.
Yes. My pain wasn't gentle or merciful. It was a sharp pain, violent, powerful, and ruthless. What little compassion I had receded in the span of a moment. And now I could die. I could say goodbye to this insane world. Farewell, crazed Hinamizawa. Thanks for giving me the psychic power to kill people whenever I wanted. If you'll still allow it, I'll wish for one last thing. The death of this very world, of this crazed Hinamizawa. So that nobody would ever again have to find themselves lost here again. Why is it that we keep ending streams seconds away from what seems to be the end of a chapter? Tifa, what do you call this unique ability that we have?
Because
yes, it is!
That's twice in a row.
Oh
but to be fair, it is so hard to see where it is.
If I had told you, would you have? No.
No.
No. Because this is not meant to blame anybody, but I feel the last time we asked, how close are we got answers that we interpreted completely wrong. And that didn't work out either. One of the things when you play a game like this on stream is you just have to accept that the timing doesn't always make sense.
We do try to find a good spot to save though. Like not in the middle of a line or...
Yeah. When a structure of a story appears to be complete.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we do try to find the best spots, but not knowing how long something still lasts makes that a bit harder. And apparently now we've had really good timing.
Indeed.
I want to say though, before we start the research notes, we take a short break. Or do you, since we only just started, still finish the research notes?
Let's do the one tip we got.
Let's do the tip.
And then this is the longest tip, 700 pages. Research notes.
2 hours later.
Oh yeah, just the tip. I can't, it's cold.
Oyashiro-sama. Nobody really knows what characters to use to write Oyashiro-sama. Didn't we have a discussion about this already? The demon and something else?
Yeah, but that was in the What's her name? Sonozaki family.
Oh.
Also,
this could be Takano's notebook.
I very much know how you spell oyashiro-sama, or what characters to use. Capital O, lowercase y, a, s, h, i, r, o, dash, or lowercase s, a, m, a.
Oh, that's how you spell Mion. Oh,
yes.
I thought that was about oyashiro-sama back then.
No, I think, and then they continued, like, also Mion's grandmother also has it in their name, and the rest of her family does too.
True.
Like, there's always a kanji or something that can be read as demon somewhere in the names.
Knowing this is hard, partly because depending on the time period, he has been called with various titles, with subtle changes to his name, and nobody knows the real one. The only thing all time periods agree on is that the 4 syllables o, ya, shi, and ro are always used.
My brain just barked, and I thought, can I spell Satoshi with that? But not with these syllables.
There is a theory stating the shrine, or yashiro, dedicated to Oyashiro-sama itself became an object of worship.
Yashiro is shrine in Japanese?
And that people began calling it O Yashiro-sama, or Lord Honorable Shrine, but this doesn't make a bit of sense. I don't know whether this is related, but people say the Furude family, the most respected bloodline in terms of worshipping Oyashiro-sama, actually inherited his blood. And in the legend, the Furude family passes down, if for 8 generations in a row the firstborn child is a girl, the 8th daughter will be the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. Which generation are we on?
We don't know. This house looks cool, let's worship it.
Rika is the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama.
Psycho, I feel like that happens sometimes. How else do you explain people that travel other like countries and stuff for architecture? It's not religious worship, but people do go out there to look at things. That's
why they make churches look so cool.
Not in Germany.
Germany has some beautiful churches.
The other day, where did we go? I forgot where. I don't even know if we were just going around town here or if we were on a trip somewhere. But we came past this church and it looked like something I would build in Minecraft. And I don't play Minecraft. Just to give an idea of how bad I would be. It was like 4 squares. So like stacked. Like 3 on the ground and then 4 on the top. So there was like this little area with like shade under it. And it was like all just like square and gray, I think. And like...
I don't know. I sort of remember the conversation we had about it, but I don't remember which one it was.
Have you found any cool German churches? There are some places.
No, you said it. You said it.
Did I? Did I say it exactly like that?
Yeah, you did. Okay. I said that's why churches look so cool, and you were like, no, they don't. There aren't any.
Yes, sorry, I didn't think of examples like the Kölner Dom, the church, cathedral, dome-looking thing in Cologne, which is directly next to the main station there, where if you get out of the station, you look, I think, to your left usually, and suddenly, bam, there's this ginormous, impressive-looking cathedral. Yeah, okay, we have some, but the average one.
Write down the Rika is the reincarnation.
I don't even have OneNote open, Tifa.
That's fine. Then we can write it down later.
Do you have OneNote open?
No.
Imagine doing your job. Wow. What day is today? 13 December. Rika-san is the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. That's what you're saying?
Yes. She's the cause of the different worlds. I don't know how, but I'm sure she is.
Okay, then I'm gonna add this only works because Keiichi's mom is actually the 7th Furude daughter.
Oh, there was something with Keiichi's mom.
Because it has been hinted at that Keiichi's mom is important too. And that she used to live here and then she was gone and now that she's back.
Yeah, but is she part of the Furude? Fuck, what family was she from? I think we learned her name, no?
I don't know.
Or was it just a important family that we learned? Oh, I completely forgot about that.
What if Keiichi is the 8th daughter?
It could be.
Maebara could be the husband's last name that she took. I don't know.
I don't know. I roughly remember a conversation about her mom, his mom being important.
For all we know, she was a Sonozaki. I don't think that. I feel like it matters because it was brought up and then never again. Like a hey.
Yeah.
You know.
Now that you mention it.
I'm just asking questions. Anyway.
Yeah. If we go by this legend, the characters used for Oyashiro-sama's name should be O for honorable, Ya for 8, and Shiro for generation. These characters' assignments are simply something I've thought up. There's no way to verify it. If this is true, then Oyashiro-sama would have been named as such under the assumption he would come again. The second coming of an object of worship can be seen in several religions, so this isn't unusual. But a few of these religions call the second coming of their object a worship. But Wario.
What?
But a few of these religions call the second coming of their object of worship a day of judgment or something along those lines, and we must not forget it meant to be the end of the world. I changed it slightly, but so.
Also, wait. The 8th generation. Also, then it's the end of the world. This doesn't make sense.
So she's just saying that some mean this.
Yeah, but wait. Here is why I don't think I could ever become part of one of those like weird religious cults. Because I think I ask stupid questions that would maybe break the immersion. So, when the second coming of Oyashiro-sama happens, then it's the end of the world, right? We don't know any character that is 5 years old. Jack, why are you saying specifically we don't know any character that is only 5 years old? Well, because the weird things happening in Hinamizawa around Watanagashi have happened or started 5 years ago. And you would think that the birth of a rebirth of your god would trigger the apocalypse or the day of judgment, and not wait for X amount of years and then stuff goes bad, right?
Well, Rika had to turn, how old is she now? 8?
I think like 10.
10. Okay, well, when she was 5, she started to get this killing sense in, she grew up, she can talk, she can do all these things, and now it's time to end the world.
Wait! No, I found a way to make it work despite my theory. Oyashiro years work like dog years. They're not like human years.
Impressive. Rika Furude, pampered and loved dearly by the elderly folk in the village. The rumors say she is the 8th generation and Oyashiro-sama.
Nah, I don't.
Didn't you say if there's rumors and I predicted it, it's correct?
No.
I fully remember you saying that.
No.
Yeah, I 100% remember someone say that.
Gold! Fun fact. It is said that the amount of gold which humanity has unearthed so far is around 212,582 metric tons, which is still enough to mint the gold medal for Jack's mental gymnastics.
I did not even remember we have that command.
Thank you. I did remember and I was waiting to use it myself.
I just wanted to use that command.
Thank you. I do appreciate it. Thank you.
I do not know the family tree of the Furudes, but at the very least I can confirm that for the past 2 generations the first child has been a girl. Rika Furude watches over Hinamizawa. If the village were to lose her protection, what would happen? Would peace between man and demon be lost? Would it once again create a hellish landscape where man-eating demons run rampant? A gruesome feast of the demons who suddenly remembered how delicious the weak humans were, who could only cry, scream, and run for their lives. What would that look like? Just imagining it is enough to make my heart pound with excitement. This is so Takano-san.
I hate you, Takano-san. Whatever layer of hell you burn in, I hate you.
I think if that day were to come, we would get a whole lot more illegal broth.
Crime soup.
Crime soup.
Crime soup. But that's a fair question. Because on one hand, you might go, well, it's kind of like in Zelda, you know? When the reborn Oyashiro-sama dies, the evil has been banished. And then good things will happen, right? On the other hand, Oyashiro-sama, as per chapter 2, has been described as not just a god or deity, but as somebody who brokered peace between the humans and the demons by making them live together. And if that person, or if that entity would then vanish, why would there still be peace? You know? She's burning a drum in a van by the river. Why did you capitalize some of the words? Drum van river. Drum van river. Repeating those, I feel like I'm like a sleeper agent, and those are the code words that are supposed to awaken me to do something. Drum, van, river, 7, foxtrot, gold. Must take short break and prepare snacks for after stream. I know that's probably not what a human brainwashed robot.
The numbers, Mason, what do they mean?
My favorite number is drum.
At first it was like burning, drum. Okay, we're talking about burning Takano. But that was on a mountain.
Somewhere.
Isn't the thing she was found in a drum?
I think so.
42. 69.
Nice. It's a weird way to now go on a break, but I'll do it anyway.
That summoned Ranger. Of course it did.
Your timing is impeccable, but I do need a short break. Welcome in, Ranger. Happy Friday. I hope you're doing well. We'll be right back.
Somewhere the Ranger sense was tingling. BRB. Hope you're doing well. We're back.
We are. Jack did say a short break. That is true. That is true. I did say short, but not tiny. Hey! Sorry, Ranger. Slowly building up to 99k. Nice. How far are you? And don't say 69. I was gonna say 69. Tifa, are you ready?
I am actually at 944,000. So almost to 999,000.
Remember how I earlier said I wish death to capitalism? And now you tell people, oh, you're trying to build up to 99,000? Well, I have 11 times that.
Yeah, but Ranger used redeems that were not giving back.
Are you a capitalist?
I believe this will be my third time go around. Yeah, nice. Something like that, I think.
Doing the Lord's work. Now let's see if Keiichi is still with us.
Oh, somehow that went awfully slow.
That's usually how a near-death experience might feel, yes. Or not, I don't know. Hopefully I'll never have to find out either.
It goes really fast.
What?
It goes really fast.
How do you know?
I've had a near-death experience. In a car crash. The hair or the car was actually on my hair in front of the wheels. Like they had to move the car for me to move.
You don't get to just say these things and not elaborate the story.
There isn't that much. Car hit me on my way to school. Didn't see me. Nothing bad happened. No. Broken bones.
Yeah,
just say bruise.
Yeah, guys, you know, I had a near-death experience, you know, just a car.
Well, yeah, if he drove a little bit further, he would have
Start at the beginning, go through the middle, get to the end of the story.
Head.
I swear I'm trying to get through this game. She's making it impossible. Tell the story. Stop stalling. You can.
I already said the story.
You are legally not allowed to go. I had a near-death experience. Look, text on the screen. No.
Fine, it was years ago. In my second or third year of high school.
Nobody understands Dutch schools. How old were you?
14, 15.
Okay.
I was cycling to school with my friend, was going over a crossing. We had voorrang, priority. No.
We got to go first. We had priority.
We got to go first. A car coming from one of the thingies did not see us, drove straight into us. There was a bit of a tumble because he didn't brake immediately. And just took us along, basically. But in the end, nothing bad happened. Like I said, bit of a bruised
bad happened.
Bruised up body.
A guy drove into you unstopped. It's a miracle you even get to tell the story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It kind of was a near-death experience in the way on how we landed. But nothing too bad happened. Because there were no serious injuries, no...
Okay.
My favorite bike was in shambles, but still.
What I'm gonna do next might seem like very toxic masculinity, but I'm gonna make her story about me for a moment. And I'm sorry about that. So, first of all, I'm happy that it went well in the end. Because otherwise we wouldn't be having this conversation. Tifa, could you please confirm to all the wonderful people out there, every time I'm going outside and a car doesn't stop when they're supposed to and they come a little bit too close to comfort to me, or you when we're out together, I instantly lose my shit. And there have been 2 or 3 cases where you were around where I was this close to then walking up to the driver, rip open the car door and break their neck with my own hands.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm usually the one.
You can confirm that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you might argue, understandable anger, but also people are people. People make mistakes. People shouldn't be making these mistakes, but people are people, right? So Jack, you don't solve anything by doing this. And you might be right about that. So Tifa, I've never been in a serious car accident. I've once sat, when I was like 5 or so, I sat in the back of a car and suddenly there was a loud thud. I like blacked out for a moment because a car had driven into the side of our car. Nothing bad. I did not have any injuries. I just, 5-year-old body at that moment said no. And when I came to again, it was over already. Nobody got hurt. It was just damage to the car. That was enough for me to have instant wrath about anybody who doesn't pay attention when driving or is intoxicated or anything else. You have actually been almost murdered twice by people that should not be operating vehicles, whether it be negligence or driving under the influence. And you are the one telling me to chill when people do that. How?
Because you don't think anything of it.
Twice? Yeah, there's also the other story where a drunk driver was speeding way too hard, her on her way back home on a bike, and then the guy veered off the street and crashed into a pole right next to her. If she had cycled a second slower, it would have been her. You
might remember the story. I'm not sure when I told it last, but I know I've told it on stream like once or twice. I back then thought the car drove into a ditch after he just dodged me while driving 250 kilometers within a living area. He drove into it, landed in a ditch. I thought the car was on fire because of the lights and tried to pull this dude out of the car. But yeah, he almost rode over me before he crashed into a ditch and a tree.
Real quick, if somebody were to do that to me, as in drive recklessly or under the influence and then drive into a ditch, I don't know if my first instinct would be to go and help.
It was panic, honestly.
No, I get that. And
I was not trying to be a hero, that was pure panic.
I get that. Ultimately, I think you did the right thing. to the point where you should be given a sainthood. I don't know if I could. I'll leave it at that.
So Ranger's been in 2 crashes now. Both have left a permanent psychic wound. Driving feels like more of a nightmare every time I do it. It is scary as hell. Don't you also still have physical injuries from that? It can end up so bad.
The worst thing, I don't have a license, so I wouldn't know, but from other people who are driving and have been in accidents. As far as I'm aware, the worst thing about driving is when you realize you're driving. Because if you think about it, at any point on a highway or something like that, you are surrounded by like 100 people, thousands driving back and forth. At any moment, the apocalypse could happen and somebody has a heart attack, somebody doesn't pay attention, a car brakes and just accelerates unstoppably. So many things can go wrong, but if you start thinking about it, you'll go insane. So everybody kind of just gets into this like flow state where it's like, yeah, I'm driving. I look around, I drive the best I can, and I just accept that this is how we move. And it's relatively safe, you know? People do it every day.
An accident can be in a small corner. That's why driving responsibly is important.
Yes.
Dark Lord only had rear endings.
Okay.
The rear side, right?
I wish you didn't have those either, but in the grand scheme of things. Yeah. Back in college on the way back from McDonald's, my friend was on the highway, long story short, lost control of a car, very old. I felt the car drifting. I was like, oh shit, because I knew we were going to hit the railing in the middle, and I basically saw that shit in slow motion. Yeah, it's a crazy feeling, isn't it? When you realize it's like time is slowing down, like in a video game basically. It's like...
But that is scary. The moment you realize something is going to happen, that is scary as fuck. But you can't stop it.
Hit the thing, bounced off, hit the other side as well. 3 of us in the car, unharmed, car totaled, written off, the axle snapped as well. I'm glad nothing happened. As in, nothing worse. But it's just like material damage. Because that can go very wrong very fast.
Those are the lucky ones.
I overlooked a stop sign in the dark and another car with 3 ladies almost crashed into my side. Followed me home, gave me a stern talking to. Deserved. Yeah. Yeah. Fair. Yes. But that's also what I meant earlier, you know. You didn't do it on purpose. But humans make mistakes. That will happen. No matter how much you know, I'm in a car, I'm in a vehicle, I have a responsibility, I need to make sure I double check everything, I look behind I check the shoulder, I check the mirrors. There will always be something that can go wrong. And like there, it did. So, good thing nothing worse happened.
Oh, first time Ranger got hit was by a kid taking a joyride, stealing his dad's truck. That's asking for accident.
Yeah.
Second was a drunk driver on St. Paddy's Day T-boning me. Spine is beyond wrecked. Yeah, I don't think people realize the impact drunk driving can have. It's always everything's gonna be fine. This won't happen to me.
I'm a good drunk driver. I've been doing it for years. Fuck you.
And then you have one moment, even if the chance might be a bit smaller, where something like that happens.
Yeah. If you want to go drunk drive, do that on your own backyard. And where you cannot interfere with anybody else's life. You know, fall in a ditch there and then just do whatever. But not in, just don't.
Felt a slow-mo once driving down the highway up to Seattle during wintertime, sliding over black ice until I finally just stopped. What's black ice? The sludgy...
No, it's like this instant ice that you don't even see.
Oh, the super thin layer.
Yeah, where you don't realize you're on ice until you suddenly realize it's driving like fucking Mario Kart. In Mario Kart, it's fun. But then you know I'm holding a gamepad and I can put it down if I want to. When you're in the car, it's like, no. That's why I like work from home. No commute. Ranger, Brofist, same. If I don't go outside, don't need to deal with any of it.
That is also true.
And we live in a building high up enough that we don't need to worry about cars driving into us. Imagine getting blue shelled IRL. Imagine. I would love that.
What?
Listen, if I'm ever a billionaire, amongst all the good things I'll do, I'll make video games, I will make remakes, remasters, series, sequels to all the games I love and that you love. Because I'm a billionaire, I can do whatever I want. But I will have my Iron Man before he became a good guy moment as well. And I will get into weapons development, and I will make an automated drone. I will make a IRL blue shell.
And then do what with it?
Annoy people with it. Not like something that just goes like, oops, there was a gas leak, house is gone, that kind of drone. But like actual blue shell with some like soft spikes, of course, and like flappy wings.
For people walking, I hope.
Yeah, and then
You're not saying that we're talking about car crashes.
I was getting there.
And I want to make a blue shell and get people.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, but maybe start with.
And then you program it with like somebody's face, and then it's like this, like throwing a football, but it's an actual like blue shell from Mario Kart. You throw it, it flies to the person, and it just like annoyingly keeps bumping into them. Imagine seeing a blue shell come at you, and you think, "Oh my God, my life is over," and then it just comes flying to you like. Whoop.
Yeah, thought for a second you went to blow people up. That's how he was setting it up.
I would never.
With the important bit at the end.
This is how I do the pitch, so that all the like military complex keeps giving me their money too, and then all my super weapon does in the end is like just nudge you.
I support Billionaire Jack. I would like
Thank
open world Legend of Dragoon, please. Third person camera, preferably.
Done.
Okay.
Done.
Writing it down.
Yeah, there will be the fourth game only.
The fourth. Okay.
Yeah. I have other games to make
place.
first. Yeah.
Writing notes for Billionaire Jack in the future.
Please. Did I set out to capitalism? Maybe, but we all get blue shells. Only if you buy my favorite letter is X Plus subscription for $69.99 a day.
That's how we get Billionaire Jack.
Do you want the blue shell or no? Start paying. And we've gone full circle. Anyway.
Yes, we have.
My head was pounding.
We were at murder.
The sky was bright. It was cold too. It hurt. Each sensation I felt led to a new and different one awakening. When I came to, I was lying face first on a dry riverbed. A few body parts hurt a lot. The skin of a bunch of my joints was torn, turned blue or red or oozing blood. I could tell it was my bones that were in pain from the agony I felt whenever I moved. Bone pain is the worst. It's really not nice. I looked up and saw how high the bridge from which I had fallen was. Considering I dropped from there, it was a miracle that I could open my eyes again. And right next to me was a broken upside-down car seat, which I guess some pranksters had brought here. Maybe this thing had been conveniently lying right under me, allowing me to escape instant death. Miraculous. Of course, I didn't know whether this miracle was fortunate or unfortunate. I failed to die, and now I was still stuck in this insane world. Also, like, imagine you fall down a cliff or like from a bridge like this, and then you come to, and it's like, okay, I can tell that I'm bleeding. I'm in massive pain. Like, what do? Do you try to like go through the movie things, like try to wriggle your toes, see if you can move your fingers? Like, imagine he falls down there, and like there were stones there, right? Like big rocks, and he falls on these, and it like pushes one of the like, what do you call them? The vertebrae, like inwards. Then he is laying there conscious, but he is a paraplegic from the neck down.
But then he also can't tell he's in pain, probably.
Do you just lose motor functions, or do you also not feel pain and stuff? I never thought of that.
I'm quite sure if you're paralyzed, you are also not feeling pain, but I don't know if there's exceptions.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Let's see what actually happened to him. How long had I been unconscious for? The sun was high in the sky, so it looked like only 1 or 2 hours had passed. But my body's sluggishness didn't make it feel at all like so short time had gone by. Mentally, it felt like I'd been asleep here for a decade. Ow. More feeling returned to my body, the more the pain flooded in. It hurt so much it would have been better to not have woken up. I needed to get to a doctor. Yeah, to Coach's clinic. The term Coach's clinic brought back... The term Coach's clinic brought memories back one after another, memories I wish I hadn't recalled. Satoko was no longer on the bridge. She would have returned to Hinamizawa by now. And she would put on some clothes, go to the clinic, get a checkup, and report on how crazy I had seemed. The police were waiting for me without a doubt. This time, would they find out for real that I'd killed her uncle and arrest me, or would they just send me to a mental institution like I thought they might? Still, I didn't care which it was. Please, someone stop all this pain. You can boil me or cook me after that, whatever you want. And that's the return of cramp soup. Pretty sure it depends on the level of nerve damage. I think there are some paraplegics who still feel pain in the affected area, even if it's phantom pain or movement. Okay.
But phantom pain is a psychological
it's a nerve thing.
Isn't it?
I think it's nerves, not psychological. Your body is telling you...
It's a memory thing.
Yeah, I think, if I recall correctly, it's your body telling you there is pain, even though there's nothing that could... Neurological.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
I always thought that was like a psychological effect.
I believe that can also be the case, but then, you know...
If your body's still believing there should be something there, but there isn't, so you imagine it still being there. But it is actual...
I think there's even a Doctor House episode on this, where a guy lost... Spoilers for Doctor House. One of the 1,000 episodes, where a guy lost an arm, but he keeps feeling phantom pain. And then they do this like experiment with him, where they go like, see, do you feel this? Yes. Great. Okay. And then he's suddenly cured. It's deeper than that, but that's the gist of it.
I've heard people that also have like phantom itches, which seems like the absolute worst.
Phantom itches?
Yeah.
What?
Like, I know someone who lost his leg talked about his leg being itchy.
Oh, but you can't scratch it.
But you can't scratch it.
Oh my god, yeah.
So it's not like a pain.
That's
but
horrible.
Just an itch.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
It feels like such a stupid thing, but imagine going nuts because the itch gets so bad you cannot do anything about it. Such a simple thing. It's an itch. Spoiler, it's not lupus. It's never lupus.
Phantom pain is so freaky. Yes, it is. Yeah. But yeah, it's the same as phantom pain movements. Such an odd thing.
Kind of weird how the human body can be. Meanwhile, I began to walk unsteadily, just limping along. Is this the part where Keiichi becomes a zombie? What? That one had layers. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. It was the zombie yawn.
At some point, I need to make a supercut of all of your yawning faces. I feel like that 10 hours of Tifa going...
I think we could fill 10 hours.
I went downstream and went through an animal trail-like path in the woods. I walked haphazardly, searching for a path I knew. I keep thinking every time he walks through like a park or something, this has to be the moment where he gets into one of Satoko's traps. Why did we spend so much time in the beginning of the game setting up Satoko's traps for them to not come back?
It's its own hill.
Yeah, so?
Why would he suddenly walk on that hill?
I don't know, because he's literally broken and battered. He has open wounds. He is in massive pain. He just survived a fall from that bridge, and he isn't thinking. He's just walking in a direction he thinks will lead to help.
Nah, he is thinking.
Eventually, I finally came across a familiar road and set off towards the clinic. Not to my house, but to the clinic, which had treated me like a lunatic. It was hot and humid. There was no wind and the air was stagnant. For a while now, I've been smelling the terrible stench of burned eggs and it made my face scrunch up.
Burned eggs?
Are we going with he is in hell now? Sulfur. He's smelling sulfur.
Yeah, but a sign that he's in hell? No.
And then, at last, I noticed something. I couldn't hear any cicadas. It was the first time I'd heard Hinamizawa be so utterly silent. That's why we have creaky wood now in the apartment to make up for the lack of cicadas. When I thought back, it seemed like birds always chirped in the morning, cicadas always cried loudly in the afternoon, and Higurashi always rose up in chorus in the evening. Always something to hear.
That's very deep.
I couldn't hear a single insect. The only thing I could hear was the rustling of the wind brushing the treetops. I'd never experienced this sort of quiet before. Even the only sound coming from the trees lacked life now. Lacked life somehow. The trees were yellow and many leaves were spread on the ground despite it being too early for autumn. Even the weeds that had been growing so persistently at the side of the road had yellowed, browned and lost their vigor. He's in hell.
That seems odd.
Did we actually go to a different dimension?
I want to say he's experiencing through a haze. I don't feel like we're in a different dimension yet.
But wait a second. Like, damage to the brain might explain the smelling something weird. But he isn't just saying the leaves are yellow, which, like, if the colors shift as you perceive them, okay, I could get that. But he also describes them being on the ground like it's fall.
It's not necessarily a sign of hell.
Only the sunlight itself was of the June Hinamizawa I knew. And yet it seemed like the seasons had switched all of a sudden. And when he was actually laying there for 3 months. Looking at the fallen leaves and rotting weeds led me to spot a few small insects turned on their backs. What? They weren't moving. They were corpses. I looked closer to see insect corpses scattered all around, like a child had collected them as samples and then strewn them about. This stench, what was it? It was terrible, like burned eggs. Combined with all the bug corpses and leaves falling from the trees in summer? Had someone sprayed herbicides or pesticides around here? That's the next thing I was thinking. It's poison. Even at school we apparently fumigate, they call it pest disinfection or something, once or twice a year.
It's the worst thing that could happen. They're burning your favorite letter. I know, right? This inhumane. This could be
literally unplayable.
Maybe it is a sign that we're now.
If it wasn't for the fact that I already bought chapters 5 through 8, I would now be applying for a refund on Steam. As in, I bought them during the last sale already, so it's been too late. I hadn't run into anybody despite how bright it was outside. It was mid-afternoon and yet it felt like I was sauntering about at midnight. Well, with the smell, nobody would want to be walking around outside. Just what was this anyway? There was no sound, no noise, not even a breath. Hinamizawa was silent. The school would come into view right after turning this corner. And yet I couldn't hear any commotion at all. None of the shouts or grunts that children always made. Ah yes, the grunts of children. It was simply quiet. Just as pretending to ignore the silence had grown intolerable, I saw the school. Finally, I heard something. It was the sound of a few trucks. There were a few very tall trucks parked in the schoolyard idling. About 10 workers in raincoats were unloading things from their trunks. It was hot and humid even in my casual clothing. I couldn't imagine how unbearable that must have been. And then I remembered. Our school was rented from the Forest Service field office building, wasn't it? It wasn't strange at all for Forest Service trucks to be doing some kind of work in the schoolyard. Besides, what did forest rangers do anyway? Yeah, Ranger, what do you do?
Our ranger is not a forest ranger, he's a cell ranger.
I like that better, but at the same time, I feel like, aren't you people a monolith? Like, if you're a ranger, you know all the other rangers? On that note...
One ranger for all?
Are you also a Power Ranger? If all rangers are the same... All the Power Rangers! Exactly! No. No.
The Poor Ranger!
That's when you type fast, I get it.
Yeah,
no, I appreciate that. I needed the brain cells, sorry. I felt bad for them having to work in such heat and with such a stench about. They were taking colorful cargo out of a truck and lining it up in the schoolyard. There were containers, fairly large ones, inside multicolored patchwork bags. Heavy too, they were being carried in pairs. They lined them up very neatly, like tuna at a riverside fish market. Keiichi is not in enough pain for what he's done if he can still just
it's the adrenaline.
Walk around loquaciously describing his surroundings.
Adrenaline.
I would like his adrenaline to make him go to the hospital faster. Several dozens, hundreds of tuna were completely filling the fairly wide schoolyard up. I forgot my pain for a little while, captivated by this big forest ranger job I'd never seen before. As I stood there watching in a daze, the people in raincoats working on the other side noticed me. One of them pointed me out and they shouted a few things back and forth. I thought they might yell at me for getting in their way, so I decided to leave post-haste. But then 2 trucks drove up behind me. I stepped aside and they entered the schoolyard. Sheets covered their trunks, but I could tell they were completely full. As they passed, there was an awful smell that made me want to choke. It wasn't the same burned egg smell as before, but an even worse one, like rotten crab meat. What on earth was it? Are they draining the swamp? I think
that doesn't explain the items.
I think they are draining Onigafuchi.
It would make sense if they suspect there's something in there, I guess.
Yeah.
But isn't that too far away from the school? Why direct the contents all the way?
Oh, you gotta put it somewhere.
I guess.
I guess they're scooping out everything, loading it onto trucks, then they dump it here for now.
But then how do you lift it with 2 people and put it in neat lines like tuna?
I don't know.
Wait, can you go back to the lock? What was it described as what they pulled out? Containers. Okay.
Inside multicolored patchwork bags.
Yeah, I guess that could be filled with demon sludge.
For a second I thought you were going to say demon semen. And I don't know why I was thinking that. Because it rhymes, I guess.
I'm not sure.
I'm not gonna apologize.
Why I would say that, but sure.
I'm gonna try to work it in somehow. I've been enshrouded in one terrible stench after another all day.
Did you say you're gonna work it in somehow?
I will not elaborate. Then certain white letters emblazoned on the side of a passing truck caught my eye. Ground Self-Defense Forces. What? Self-Defense Forces, like the army. Where was the army in the schoolyard?
Hey, you! Where did you come from?
Suddenly someone slapped me on the shoulders from behind. I turned around and a canopied SDF jeep was parked there. The SDF person had on a green raincoat and a gas mask, like in the movies, carrying a compressed air cylinder. He didn't look normal. There wasn't an inch of exposed skin anywhere. Where did I... Ow! Ow! When I tried to talk, I stretched a wound on my head. Made the SDF people exchange glances. I couldn't see their faces through their masks, but they seemed surprised.
Do you live in Hinamizawa? Can you tell us your name and address?
Well, yeah, I sort of live here. My name is Keiichi Maebara. And my address is Hinamizawa Village, Shishibone. After seeing me tell them my name and address without hesitation, one of the SDF people watching from the jeep started talking into a radio.
Base, do you read? Base, do you read? We have a 402, survivor discovered. Survivor discovered?
His last wish came true. He killed Hinamizawa, Tifa.
What was his last wish exactly?
That the world, this Hinamizawa, would die. And now, something has happened, but it's like bioterrorism or whatever, because the military doesn't show up in gas masks and stuff for fun.
Yeah, that is true. I repeat, we have a 402. We found a survivor. He's in front of the Forest Service office.
He's manifesting again. This is base, we copy. Secure the survivor at once. What is his status?
Healthy. Wounded all over, but not fatally. He can walk on his own. We'll send him to HQ for safety.
I was prepared to go along with the police, but the SDF? I couldn't help but think it seemed a little bit much.
What the fuck happened?
They urged me into the back of a jeep. And then they told me to put on this gigantic gas mask. I did so, and one of the troops fiddled around with it, strapping it tightly to me. It was heavy, hard to see out of, hot and difficult to breathe. Just looking at the world through the lenses made it lose its sense of reality. My breathing sounded like some giant monster through the mask. At this point, I had no idea what was happening. With much trepidation, I asked the trooper adjusting my mask. Excuse me? Has something happened?
Where were you? What were you doing?
Hey, don't answer a question with more questions. I was one asking you. I fell from a rope bridge way back in the mountains. I think I passed out on the riverbed. I don't actually know what day it is.
Today is June 22nd, 1983. Wednesday.
That surprised me. Satoko pushed me off the bridge on Tuesday the 21st. That meant I'd been asleep on that riverbed for an entire day. It's Wednesday, my dudes! The worst Wednesday, apparently. Forgive me for asking again, but did something happen? Why is the SDF here? Is this a drill? Had my question been that difficult for him? None of the troopers would answer me. Alright.
I think this is the first time the text moved to the top.
No, it's gonna be a long text. I'm calling it now with his last wish. He caused the destruction of Hinamizawa. Not the area, but the people at least.
But how? And what's the smell?
Giant poisonous gas leak out of the swamp. Onigafuchi has reclaimed the village, effectively. Yeah, that's gonna be it.
No, the trigger was Rika dying.
No,
Rika being the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama, and Oyashiro-sama disappearing being the end of the world.
No, we wished for it.
And that's connected to Rika.
One in the driver's seat talking on his own radio turned on the vehicles. He turned the dial in some broadcast station or never came in. I started to listen to the voice of a radio announcer I was familiar with. Was conducted at the Prime Minister's office in regards to questions from the press that the SDF not responding to the disaster promptly was directly related to his unprecedented, unheard-of catastrophe. Chief Cabinet Secretary Okuno had this to say. And so, I believe that once the SDF received the dispatch order from the prefectural governor, they responded promptly. According to him, the SDF was prompt to respond to the crisis after receiving the orders. He implied that it was the prefecture's responsibility for taking too long to comprehend the situation. When did the governor who requested the SDF's dispatch actually become aware of the outbreak of such an unprecedented catastrophe? And did he not invite further damage because of the time lost before he sent the request for disaster relief? In other words, because of the bureaucracy, we are awaiting further investigation into the matter. That was Mr. Okada reporting from the Prime Minister's office official residence. At this point, we can't take another look at the political response following this disaster. In the middle of the night between June 21st and June 22nd, a large-scale disaster broke out in Hinamizawa village, Shishibone. The details have not yet been investigated, but there was an eruption of volcanic gas from somewhere in the Hinamizawa area. The gas was relatively heavy and as it spewed out, it began to flow. That kills people.
Yeah.
You breathe it in, but it fills up your lungs, and because it's heavier than normal air that you need to breathe, it completely fills your lungs, so you keep breathing, thinking everything is fine, but you suffocate because you can't get oxygen or enough of it. I've heard of that, something like this happening before. It's completely fucked up.
But if it went down the river, he was in the river.
That flow went down along a small river and headed directly into Hinamizawa village. After a few hours, it had covered the entire region. It happened in the middle of the night, 2 to 4 a.m. Every home and household in the village was afflicted. With most of the residents asleep, it is thought that all died without noticing the crisis. The catastrophe striking in the middle of the night caused its detection to come too late. But there was still one small opportunity to have noticed it. 3 a.m. A news dealer's shop in Okinomiya sent a vehicle carrying the morning newspapers to its branch office in Hinamizawa. Usually the shop would be contacted upon the vehicle's arrival, but this morning that didn't happen. The news dealer's shop made repeated calls, but got no response. The shopkeeper sent his eldest son to check on things, but they lost contact with him as well. It is extremely regrettable. If we had contacted the police or fire department at this point, it is highly possible the situation would have turned out more positively. At the very least, it's possible that a portion of the village might have been saved from tragic annihilation.
This does not make the cabbage fat. The outcome won't change.
Somehow,
I think that would have happened here. Yeah. As in, outcome wouldn't have changed.
6 a.m. Residents in areas in the same region began continuously calling 119 to report the smell of rotten eggs, dizziness, nausea, and headaches. The fire department received the same reports, all from the same confined region. They speculated a truck loaded with chemicals may have gotten into an accident and reported it to the local police. The containers that were neatly lined up like tuna? Corpses. Hence the picture of tunas being laid out, that was body bags.
Ah.
You wanna bet?
That could very well be, yes.
6:30 a.m. Contact was lost with a patrol car on duty in the Hinamizawa area after the officer reported the smell of rotten eggs. The local police considered the possibility of a large-scale disaster involving highly lethal gas and reported it to the prefecture and prefectural police at 7:15 a.m. 8 a.m. The governor was traveling to nearby prefectures for inspection, so in accordance with regulations, the prefectural environmental disaster prevention chief was provisionally escalated to Director General and set up a disaster countermeasures office. However, without contacting the governor, the countermeasures came too late. This music is way too mellow for an entire village being wiped out. As has recently been pointed out by citizens groups, his trip with honorary Diet members to inspect other prefectures was based solely on good relations, and it's rumored they preoccupied themselves with a drinking party. Sources closer to him claim wait, that's the news anchor. As has recently been pointed out by citizens groups, his trip with honorary Diet members to inspect other prefectures was based solely on good relations, and it's rumored they preoccupied themselves with a drinking party. Sources closer to him claimed the governor had been drinking all night and had gone to sleep in a drunken state. He was completely drunk when the environmental chief phoned him as well, and apparently he could not get him to pay any attention to the matter. If you read newspaper or news article, you need to sound like news. And so the authorities, in the hour or so it took for the governor to grasp the situation and sober up, did nothing but accumulate information. Though not as extreme as the governor's case, the environmental chief who became director general in the governor's absence will likely also be questioned about his negligence. In addition, without any procedures in place on the prefecture's side that predicted catastrophes this massive, they would always react too late, and that ended up being fatal. 9:12 a.m. On the advice of the prefectural police, the governor requested a disaster relief mission from the SDF. By the time the chemical defense unit, equipped with protective equipment, arrived on the scene, 8 hours had already passed since the incident's outbreak. Whatever the case may be, it was unfortunate this happened while everyone was sleeping in the middle of the night. Had the same disaster occurred during the day, it likely would have been entirely different. All households in the Hinamizawa village region were wiped out. There were over 1,000 victims. The SDF is still confirming the situation on the ground, but the results are predicted to only increase that number. Here with us in the studio today is Dr. Fujiwara, a professor at university who is well acquainted with volcanic disasters. Doctor, can such a sudden and horrible outburst of poisonous gas actually happen?
It isn't at all unusual for this to happen right around craters, at least. Japan is a volcanic nation and so has many active volcanoes. There's always a danger of hazardous gas around any of these craters, and it's generally a rule among mountain climbers not to go near them.
Does this mean the rotten egg smell that visited Hinamizawa village was the normal sort of gas from volcanic craters?
Judging by how it smelled like rotten eggs, we think it was hydrogen sulfide, a gas seen particularly frequently in accidents compared to other volcanic gases. If it's dense, it becomes extremely dangerous.
Told you it's sulfur.
Yep, you're right.
Hinamizawa is very far away from the craters of any volcanoes. Can hydrogen sulfide be generated even from a place not close to a crater? This is where he's going to talk about a swamp.
Basically, Satan farted because our swamp was hell's anus.
Yeah.
I don't know all the details, so I can't say anything concrete, but in other countries there are records of gas eruptions due to magma buildup under hot springs. It's an extremely rare event, but it is possible for such a thing to happen even in a region not near craters.
Thank you very much, Doctor. We appear to have an announcement from the Japan Defense Agency. Miss Morikawa, are you out there?
Yes, I'm at the Japan Defense Agency. The agency has just made an announcement regarding the source of the Hinamizawa village gas disaster. Analysis from the Ground Self-Defense Force Department of Chemistry has found that the gas was a mixture of carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide.
Miss Morikawa, do you know whether the gas is still erupting or spreading to nearby areas?
According to the SDF's 9th Division, who are currently engaged in a rescue operation at Hinamizawa village, the gas density is steadily decreasing. They've announced that the damage will not spread. However, it does not change the fact that surrounding areas are still in danger and that very strict observation must be maintained.
That was Morikawa from the Japan Defense Agency. Now we have a report on the state of those who have been made to evacuate the Okinomiya area. Shimoshinozaki Elementary School is one of the evacuation sites, and we currently have a reporter on scene. I can't do static sounds, sorry. I should pick up beatboxing, so I can do that better. Wait, what? Inside the jeep, clambering and bouncing along the rough road. None answered my muttered question. An unprecedented catastrophe had destroyed Hinamizawa in a single night. Where was Hinamizawa village anyway? Someplace deep in the mountains, right? Names of places I'd heard about on the radio were always like that. They were all places I'd never heard of, much less knew the locations of. Wiped out. What does that mean? They usually say how many died and how many were injured. How many people were alive. Where did everyone evacuate to? Eventually we came into view of Coach's clinic. For the first time I saw the flag of Japan hanging on a pole outside. Japan's circular sun hung down as though exhausted. Many SDF tents were set up in the clinic's big parking lot, and many strict security vehicles were parked there as well. When we saw the jeep coming, men in white clothing and gas masks came running out of the clinic, frantic, carrying a stretcher.
You're going to be alright. How do you feel? Can you walk?
Yes. Ow, ow. Because of my hours, they forced me to lay on the stretcher anyway. People who seemed like doctors were looking at me and notifying others of my condition via radio.
Multiple wounds, high possibility of fractures and internal damage. Large laceration in the head. Pupils normal, but even without bleeding from the fundus, brain damage is still possible.
And then, from the clinic entrance, people lying on stretchers were brought outside to replace me. Judging by the clothing they were from Hinamizawa, and that's how I knew they were victims. They brought the stretchers in front of a truck. 2 troops holding shoulders and legs, like some kind of baggage, picked them up and threw them into the trunk. What? In the trunk of a truck, people's bodies, piled in heaps. They were just like baggage, and that told me they were already nothing but shells. At that moment I remembered all those colorful sacks filling the trunks, and them lined up in the schoolyard like a fish market. Hundreds of empty shells. Corpses. 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 Corpses!
You jackasses! Don't just throw the victims in like that! They lived here!
The troops carrying the sacks answered with a humble salute. I mean, what are you gonna do, right? You need to dispose of them.
Yeah,
quickly.
but you don't need to throw them in like a bag of potatoes. But at this point, I think they just want to get over.
But you have to get through over 1,000, and you need to do that now. I'm not condoning it, but every single time you see something like this happening, where like military or something has to dispose of a large amount of bodies, it's never a okay, let's respectfully, with piety, get them up and then place them some. No.
Yeah, they don't have the time. It's still a danger zone.
Yes. And in a sense, again, I don't like it, but I think if I were to like stop and treat them with the respect they deserve, it might also hit them.
Could be.
And if you can be detached from the situation, I feel like that will allow you to perform your duties more efficiently. Because, you know, it's not... Yes, I'm aware I'm moving bodies, but it's not... I'm being a coroner and I'm burying somebody. It's I need to clear this area. And it happens to be bodies. The world didn't need this insane version of Hinamizawa. My final wish, again, it was granted. I didn't understand anything anymore. None of it mattered. I wished, I cursed, and then it happened the next day.
I know this is a serious moment, but I can now just imagine that Teppei is one of the survivors. Like, everyone dies once again.
Except for the human shit state, yeah.
We want to have dead originally, and he keeps living like a cockroach.
Yeah. Drop a nuke on him, he still lives somehow. He turns into a ghoul from like Fallout. Then, please, tomorrow morning, let me die. That insane night, it's still going on. Please, please end it already.
Hey, he's lost consciousness. Shout his name. Quickly. Maebara-kun. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, just blink. Maebara-kun. Maebara-kun. Maebara-kun.
Suddenly, the world didn't matter to me anymore. I wasn't interested in their cries.
His breathing stopped. Get his respiratory tract open.
Get him respect.
Use CPR. Make him live. Damn it, damn it. No more dead people. Nobody deserves to die. Don't kill him. Don't kill him.
I could hear the voice of a man crying and screaming in my ears. Nobody deserves to die. Those words came from his heart. They were so commonplace, and they soaked into my heart too. Maybe it was a mistake to take someone's life, even if it was to save Satoko. If this is the price I had to pay, this horrible tragedy, then this is a little much, Oyashiro-sama. Why did you never punish me? Come to think of it, Satoko said something. Oyashiro-sama's actual curse never goes for the target at first, but kills everyone they loved before that. Oyashiro-sama's curse was a convenient excuse I told myself at the very end, that it wasn't my curse that destroyed it, but Oyashiro-sama's. Given that I was on a stretcher, this next bit might have been obvious. But last of all, I realized one thing. Yeah. Today, I had not heard those footsteps following me, even once. And now, I was liberated. As the cries of Higurashi, I couldn't have been hearing, filled my mind. That tearful ensemble was the only funeral march I had. June 22nd, 1983, early morning. A widespread disaster occurred in Hinamizawa village, Shishibone Prefecture. Volcanic gas, carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide, erupted from Onigafuchi Swamp, one of the Hinamizawa's area's water sources, and spread through the entire village. I told you! There were 1,200 victims. 20 have gone missing. The catastrophe was unprecedented, forcing local governments to evacuate approximately 600,000 people. According to later investigations, magma pools and hot springs were uncovered directly under Onigafuchi swamp, and the gas that gushed from it was determined to be the cause of the disaster. In addition, directly after the incident broke out, many came forth claiming this disaster was a curse based in Hinamizawa village legends, first sparking a wave of chaos. There were apparently local legends of a curse spreading a miasma, destroying the village, and some scholars believe a similar gas disaster may have happened in the past and remained part of these legends.
Also, I can just imagine the moment Keiichi ditched the bike in the swamp. Like it hit something.
It could be
some weird bubble, or made made a weak spot somewhere that now caused this eruption.
Yeah, like a house of cards. The swamp was structurally safe enough undisturbed, but that thing falling in there.
Yeah, and then it broke.
Yeah. She's gonna be like, get out of my swamp! Dead.
Well, everyone is out now.
Isn't that also part of one of the Shrek movies?
The line? Yeah.
No, the swamp gas.
But the swamp gas, I don't know.
Whoa. Actual swamp gas. This is the point where I remind people that I don't actually care about Shrek, and I think I've seen all the movies, but I couldn't tell you anything about them, really. Except for like one or two things. There is swamp gas in Shrek movies. It doesn't kill anyone, no. Alright, see, then no. Thank you, Tifa. The answer was no. Thank you, Dark Lord. Appreciate it.
Jack hates Shrek. I just want to say that Jack's natural list is already longer since we made the Tifa list than mine is.
Put it on the list. Okay, one sec.
You're not putting it on my list.
Why not?
No, make your own list.
Dark Lord says we don't
your
have.
Your list is long enough already.
We don't have space for another command. We already have an exclamation mark, Jack.
Go press A. Stop touching my list.
More extreme periodicals suggest that this was an extension of a string of freak death incidents that had been happening in recent years in Hinamizawa village, stirring interest and theories about this curse of Oyashiro-sama.
Oh, you know after this you need to get an aluminium hat. The amount of conspiracy theories that will start happening.
The government did it! Yeah.
100%.
Somebody blue shelled the swamp.
Yeah, Keiichi did actually.
Sorry. In addition, relatives of those in Hinamizawa village who had escaped the disaster complained of sickness afterwards and were hospitalized. Some of them even died of unknown causes, further encouraging such extreme opinions. On top of that, several relatives professing to be possessed by Oyashiro-sama's curse committed suicide in strange ways. And the impact the disaster has had on the entire nation can no longer be ignored. Wild visions of terrible toxic gas sneaking around in the middle of the night killing people spilled across the country, causing a steady stream of people complaining of insomnia, difficulty breathing, headache, dizziness, etc. Some who identified themselves as being obsessed by it began doing odd things. Most of these were mistakenly attributed by the tabloid press. But afterwards, some even began to call this mental issue arising from the Hinamizawa tragedy the Hinamizawa syndrome. The Hinamizawa village region, the object of all kinds of rumors and speculation, is currently closed off, and even flying overhead is prohibited. The prohibition was at one point undone as a result of a decrease in the gas's density, but that autumn another gas burst was confirmed, leading to the area being cordoned off again. Word is that the area is sound asleep, all traces of its former life intact and left to rot. Only one survivor remains, Keiichi Maebara, H., who lived at Hinamizawa village. At the time of rescue, he had some trouble breathing due to fluid buildup in his lungs, but as a result of life-saving procedures, he was kept alive. He is currently in a general hospital somewhere in the prefecture. The press have been asking for him for some time, but all interviews are being refused. What did he see in Hinamizawa? What happened between June 21st and June 22nd in Hinamizawa village? Today he remains silent, unwilling to speak of it.
Yeah, the best way to get away with murder is just to wipe out the entire city. The Great Hinamizawa Disaster in Memory.
Jiro Tomitake, real name unknown, possibly committed suicide in village on 6/1983, investigation suspended. Mio Takano strangled to death in the mountains. Ooishi went missing on the 20th. Katsuya Kumatani
went missing during investigation.
Irie suicide. Rika dead.
Gas disaster.
Reina confirmed dead. Mion, her grandmother, Satoko.
Teppei went missing.
Okay.
I thought, of all the people, Teppei walks off.
Alright.
Shion committed suicide at the victim's hospital.
Okay. Keiichi Maebara attempted suicide at the victim's hospital. Okay.
Is this the first?
Oh, this is for credits.
Yeah. Is this the first time we have credits like this,
yes.
by the way?
Also, what's with the weird text in between? Pa irtoffem ewan sago odartist butaf inkto. Is this... Can somebody who played through this just confirm? Is it supposed to show like this, or is this like a font issue and it's supposed to be like Japanese kanji, but for some reason it doesn't show that? It's either too hard to read or it's lorem ipsum.
Could be that it's like filler for the layout.
Okay, fair enough.
To make it seem like article thingies.
I don't really know, never checked. I was thinking it's secret messages. June 2003, 17 years later. Okay. This is the first time we go to a different time.
Yeah.
I think. An elderly couple living in Osaka Prefecture discovered a cassette tape while organizing the possessions of their son, who passed away 8 years ago. Their son went missing when his fishing boat capsized in 1995. He was 47 at the time of his death. 8 years later, in 2003, they had begun to organize their son's remains in order to organize their minds and came across the cassette tape in question. From 1975 to 1989, the deceased had experienced working as a journalist for a photography periodical, and this tape is thought to have been created during that time. So this is Tomitake's. This is Tomitake's parents.
Yeah.
A periodical photographer. That has to be Tomitake.
But Tomitake was killed.
The label on
could not have been 47 at the time of death.
The label on the tape read 11/28/1983 Keiichi Maebara. It is thought the tape was recorded during an interview with Keiichi Maebara, the only survivor of a great Hinamizawa disaster that occurred in June of 1983. Then it has to be somebody else. As the only person who lived through the disaster on the night of June 21st, shrouded in mystery, many interested parties attempted to question him, but he never once spoke physically to anyone in a public place. Therefore, the tape caused quite a stir, possibly being of extremely high value.
Click.
It's really hard to talk about stuff when I know I'm being recorded.
Please don't worry about it. Here, it won't be a problem if I do this, right?
After this, the sound quality dramatically decreases. Did he cover the recording device with something?
Then let's get started. Here's my first question. Keiichi-kun, where were you the night of the great disaster?
I had gone behind the shrine and took a path through the woods for a while. There's a rope bridge there. A little while before you get into the mountains. I fell from there and lost consciousness.
Did this happen during the night of the disaster, between the 21st and the 22nd?
No. It was the morning of the 21st on Tuesday. Which means I woke up the afternoon of the next day. I think I was out for a day and a half.
Why on earth were you there? I mean, I'm sure everyone wants to know, but the bridge you fell from that day, a weekday I might add, was quite far from both your house and the school, wasn't it? Benjima, how are you doing?
Welcome in, happy Friday, how are you doing?
Speaking frankly, there are some who say you knew of the great disaster beforehand and fell from the rope bridge as you were trying to flee the village.
This isn't a joke. Please don't be so arbitrary about this.
I think it's a terrible thing to say too. Please don't be offended. Anyway, about the rope bridge you fell from, it was right here on the map, right? The rope bridge beyond the back of the shrine and through the path in the woods.
Probably. I never went over there, so I can't say for sure.
I guess I just want to know why you were out somewhere you'd never been before on a weekday morning.
Asking good questions.
And then, well, about the riverbed you fell unconscious on. Have you heard the rumors about that being impossible?
There's that word again. I'm good, very tired, how are you? Slightly beat, but other than that, fine. Happy to be here.
Same, basically.
And thank you for the free stream streak. Free streams, yay! Because I missed Sunday.
Boo!
Boo. How
but
dare
you're
you?
Here now.
How? Work on that.
Sounds like a early day to bed.
No.
Did you start?
So?
No.
That doesn't keep people from staying up. When else are you gonna have fun? At work?
That is true.
Impossible. That word. Again. For a little while, Keiichi Maebara mutters the word impossible several times. Why would it be impossible?
You know how the volcanic gas originated in the Onikafuji swamp. Some scholars did some pretty delicate simulations and modeling and discovered something very interesting. That's what I said, the gas went through there.
Yes, over him.
The volcanic gas was heavier than the air, so it went along the ground, flowing into lower and lower places, kind of like what water does. And with Onikafuji swamp as its source, they were able to test how much time it would take for the gas to erupt and spread across the whole village. So, well, that riverbed you were unconscious on, the gas, it would have flowed down there.
I don't really understand what you're getting at.
In other words, if you were really passed out on that riverbed, you would have been in the middle of all of the toxic gas that was spreading everywhere that night. That means there was no chance you could have been passed out there. Allow me to be a little more frank. I think that maybe you might be telling a lie. During the great disaster, you were hiding in a safe place, keeping an eye out for when the gas got thinner, then reappeared and were secured by the SDF. How about that? Is that right on the mark? I do like how they're talking to like a 15-year-old at this point.
Yeah.
And...
You watched everybody die, you piece of shit! You are scum! You 15-year-old fuck!
You caused the swamp fart. You did it.
You killed 600 million people here in Japan. 1,200, as far as you know.
Could have been 6 million if you had your way.
How many people lived in Japan in 1983? All of them. They're all on you. For a short time, the journalist presses Keiichi Maebara further in a teasing way, but all that can be heard are heavy sighs. Teasing way! Haha, you killed everybody! You watched them die! Very teasing. Even if that was the case, I wouldn't be surprised at this point.
What do you mean you wouldn't be surprised?
Was this recording really taken of Keiichi Maebara? Some harbor suspicions. You said it before, didn't you? But it was impossible. Impossible things happen in Hinamizawa. Impossible things happen in that Hinamizawa all the time. There are people who shouldn't be existing. Dead people end up alive. It's not really that unusual. Never thought I, of all people, would be asked to prove that I was still alive when I was supposed to have died. The journalist and Keiichi Maebara both laughed for a while. To verify its authenticity, I had the others in the Maebara family check the tapes with his voice in it. However, the sound was not clear and much time had passed, so the relatives I checked with couldn't remember what he sounded like. I was unable to gain positive proof it was actually his voice.
Alright then, I'll change the subject. What do you think of the debate about whether this disaster was the curse, the 5th year of the serial freak death incidents in Hinamizawa?
I don't think it was. I was the curse that year after all.
What do you mean?
What do I was just answering the question. Doubts also remain regarding the date 11/28 written on the tape.
The curse. Well...
Excuse you?
Oh, sorry.
Excuse you?
Somehow I thought it said reporter.
Welcome to Spelling Bee. Today's question is, Jack, how do you spell...
Just go.
How do you spell reporter? Okay, reporter.
Go.
Keiichi. Yes, that is correct. It's even a different color. You can tell that, right?
Go.
Are we back?
Say your line.
Are we back to you being colorblind? The curse, well, you probably won't believe me when I tell you this. I was the one who caused it. I was the one who wished for the whole village to die, and it happened. Jack, people make mistakes.
You just can't get over it.
Yes, you're correct. People do. But Tifa is not people. Tifa is Tifa.
Not a very good interviewer.
She should be better than that.
What an exciting story.
Exciting. I suppose you could call it that. After Maebara Keiichi's failed suicide attempt on a certain August day 2 months after the disaster, he was diagnosed with a mental disorder and transported to a treatment facility. It says Keiichi. I was the one who killed Takano-san and Coach and Ooishi too. At the time I had some kind of divine power. Yes, I suppose it was like footsteps.
Footsteps? Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Have you never heard footsteps before? Tip tap, click click, coo coo coo. The facility never allowed any news coverage, so it's extremely unlikely that a tape from the media dated August 1983 would have his voice on it. Today, when you're walking around, try stopping suddenly. Something interesting will happen. Anyway, if you hear an extra footstep, even though you'd already stopped walking, you'd better be careful, you know?
Yes, I'll be careful.
Is what I'm saying really that funny to you? However, the reporter had been criticized for his forceful methods of collecting data while he was active, so there is still a possibility that he broke into the facility and forced Keiichi Maebara to talk. You've been doing nothing but laugh in my face this whole time. You're just like Coach. You pretend to sympathize with me, to listen to what I have to say, but your eyes are telling me you think I'm a lunatic.
That's not true.
No, I can tell. Your eyes are the same as Coach's. Is this truly Keiichi Maebara's voice? The authenticity of this recording is still wrapped in mystery. I never heard the footsteps again after that day. So I don't think I have that terrible power anymore. Perhaps, right here, right now, I'll wish for you to die. I'll wish for your death, for saying all these unpleasant things. Yes, this time, why don't I decide how you die? Takano-san was burned to death, so let's go with the opposite, with water. I hope you drown and die. How's that? 15 years after this tape was created, the reporter, just as Keiichi Maebara had predicted, died in an accident out on the sea. This is a great moment for Jack. People make mistakes. This reporter did too. If I'm in top form like I was then, you'd die before tomorrow morning for sure. Now then, I wonder how many days it will take you to drown. You'd better be careful, you know. Don't go getting yourself killed by some stupid curse I put on you, okay?
I would probably never go near any deep water again if this conversation is as uncomfortable as I imagine.
I wouldn't even shower without somebody else watching me. No. The recording ends in the middle of Keiichi Maebara's laughter. And Keiichi Maebara, late on the night of 11/30/1983, 2 days after the interview, he suddenly died from a high fever, cause unknown. Records remain of the strange words he kept giving after pressing the call button before he died. An extra set of footsteps.
You heard the footsteps again. Can see that as a confirmation that his curse would probably work.
Did you just talk over the sound effect? Because what was that?
Explosion sound.
No, before that it sounded like children laughing.
No, there was no laughing.
There was children laughing, right?
Not in my earpiece.
Correct. Thank you.
There was no laughing at all. There was just a blah 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 sound.
Well, the all-cast scenario has been unlocked.
I tuned in, yeah, preferably. Yes. Creepy as hell. Oh wait, did we actually finish the chapter?
Yes, we finished the chapter.
Oh yeah.
Want to still do that now? Then we're done with it and can get a clean start on Sunday?
No. You still have a cake to bake from scratch.
Yes, and? I'm okay with that. Tifa, we're meeting with my family tomorrow for dinner. And because it's her birthday yesterday, Tifa wanted to bring a cake. And this morning, when I went shopping, I forgot to bring the ingredients. So I still went earlier before stream and I told her I would make it. I am perfectly fine making the cake at whatever hour because it doesn't take forever. I'm in.
Yeah, then
people
fine.
Would like you to be as well.
Fine, then we will.
Thank you for peer pressure.
I'm not going to stay awake while you bake the cake though.
I never asked you to. All cast review session, here we go. Finally something heartwarming, something lebensbejahend, as we say in German.
That was an interesting ending. I mean, it's not surprising Keiichi went insane after.
Yeah, I would have too.
That's going to be a very heavy case of survival guilt, especially believing you are the cause of it all.
What do you mean survivor's guilt? He felt no guilt as far as we could see. He just wanted to be done.
Oh, I think there was a bit of survivor's guilt in there. That's part of the...
No, I don't believe that.
Yeah, I do think so. He even said that killing the entire village was too much as a punishment.
Yeah, and then he asked for his own death, and then that didn't happen.
Yeah, because he wanted to die for everything he's done. Which is kinda part of that, I wanna say. Okay. Thank you very much for enjoying Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 3 Tatarigoroshi.
Okay, Reina, could you do that again without whatever you had happening at the end?
Chapter 3 Tatarigoroshi.
It's fine, Reina can't say the big words.
Exactly. How did you like it? It had a different sort of atmosphere than the previous chapters.
That it did.
I would be happy if you enjoyed it. A bad end again. The type which we're so fond of, huh? Personally, I wanted to get a scene of the gas coming in, the villagers spasming and foaming at the mouth one by one before dying. Do you all think so too?
Shit, Tifa says.
I was thinking it, but I wasn't gonna confirm it.
100%. Yeah. No, I liked the movie, but it would have been so much better if I saw the movie. The movie would have been so much better if you saw them in their death throes, and if you could watch them shit themselves in the pain of dying, and then you see.
I do feel like those moments make it better.
Leave their eyes.
Of course, I do not think so. Again. It happened again.
I am with Satoko.
A huge bad end. Huh? Mi-chan, you sure seem happy about the bad end. Well, it's more like all we can honestly do at this point is laugh.
Well, terrible endings have been escalating through each chapter, and it finally reached a culmination, I suppose.
The most annoying bit is, where did Ooishi go, and where did Teppei go?
Well, Tifa, I would like to remind you that Chapter 3 is still one part of the Higurashi Questions arc. Therefore, I believe, if I may present this case, so to be posed as something that makes you ask questions, not get answers.
That's so annoying.
Let me update your autopsy report when I'm at it.
Everyone died together as friends. Excuse me, did you not see the end? I don't think we died as friends at all. I don't think any of us died as friends.
Rika, that did not happen.
As friends. Nippon.
I guess you could say that. I die every time, but when I'm a little tired of it, it would be nice to have an ending where I didn't die once in a while.
Tomitake-san, you're kind of like a time signal. When you die, it's like, oh, we're in the second half now. Kind of.
Now Jack is just a simple country Bremen Erz. Yes, sometimes I do that. I cosplay.
Well, don't. Okay. Now here are our guests that debuted in this chapter.
They did what?
They debuted in this chapter.
They did what?
They debuted. Debuted. No, debuted is the correct word.
They became deputies. Debuted. The T is silent.
Oh, I stick to what I said.
Like in
I stick to my point.
It's peak, Reina. I love it so much.
T is silent. No, it's not.
Yeah, just like an ether.
It's like a Dr. Dre.
Just like an ether.
Did you
Yes. Then in the battle, yes. Is French.
I'm not speaking French.
Croissant.
I speak the English version where the T is not silent.
If the T is silent, why did we write it?
Everyone, give a big round of applause.
Double stain.
A dibble stain. First, his coach, Irie Kiyose Super... Oh. Oh my god.
Now I know why she didn't want to do this now. Now I know. There are no hidden letters in that one, Tifa.
Irie Kyosuke-san.
Okay, can we have a whole sentence?
No.
Okay. I tried, people. I'm honored to have your introduction. Hello there. I was a minor character, but having a full portrait like this makes me feel really important.
He wasn't that minor in the end, I want to say.
No, but he had a thing for minors. Kyosuke. Nah, I don't believe that.
It's true. You had too many appearances, too much dialogue, and too strong a role for a minor character.
Agreed. I don't know how much I'll get to appear from here on, so please root for me.
Thank you very much. Next up is our teacher, Chie-sensei.
Curry!
Hello there, everyone. I've appeared in various scenes, and this time I was given that Hello there, everyone. I've appeared in various scenes, and this time I was giving that memorable scene, the curry showdown. Oh my god, why can I not say memorable? Memorable!
Third time's the charm, please.
No.
Tifa, Chie gets one line, she deserves it.
I've appeared in various scenes, and this time I was given that memorable scene, the curry showdown.
Curry!
Oh my god, memorable.
Memorable.
I just can't forgive those who would slight curry.
Same.
Yes, I wonder. Oh, someone give Chie-sensei a seat, please.
I love curry, who doesn't?
Everyone loves curry. If you say curry in front of a mirror 3 times, she won't appear. I tried.
No.
Maybe you should say it 2 times.
Have you tried it 300 times?
Mother's is my favorite.
My favorite is Keiichi Maebara.
I did not see that one coming.
I was hoping, I was praying someone would set it up. I was praying for Benjamin Maebara is the last name of a main character. Or curry goat. No, I never liked goat, even when I was still eating meat. Never had goat that I enjoyed, so maybe that's the reason.
So my curries, I prefer meatless as well. But curry is so nice, like every kind of curry. This man saved himself. Okay. Now everybody's here. Reina, you can do the honors again.
What honors?
Okay, everyone. Please pick up the cup nearest to you on your table. There are plenty of different drinks.
These after parties have really gotten lively. How many do we have here now?
Including us, I think there are about 10 people.
Now we finally have the same number of minors and adults. We can all drink without being ashamed. What? Is that a thing in Japan? Can I drink now?
Speaking of beer, how is it that something so delicious when cold turns so bad when warm?
I'll just drink, fuck it.
At least press A while you drink. One of the 7 wonders of the world, I say. I wonder why.
It's weird drinking in front of a bunch of kids, but why?
Everybody needs to... You're the only one drinking.
Everybody. From now on, I will make it a thing that I take a bottle of water outside and I will exclusively drink outside in front of like groups of children. It will be totally not weird if I go out of my way to go past the schoolyard and go,
hey, I'm still waiting for the toast.
And I go, hey kids.
Yeah, that is sus as fuck. I'm with Skinner on this one.
It's a weird thing to say, to be honest, Jack.
Yeah.
I was trying to break the Japanese stigma of drinking in front of kids. I'm sorry I went too far.
No, that was just weird.
I would like to state that my previous statement was done a long while ago, and in the time since I have done some soul searching and I would not save it anymore. I've become a different person ever since I made that statement, and I should not be held to the same standard as back then. I do regret my choices.
We're on the 3rd or 4th time of me telling you guys about not to try to buy kits.
I didn't try to buy kits.
We didn't say anything about buying kits. These are already pre-owned kits that he's drinking in front of.
First of all, the second hand. Stop it. Not a command. Therefore, it has no power over me. No, I'm actually sitting on the right. That's true. Yeah, pre-owned. Of course. Okay, I'll pour some beer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All for yourself.
I need 6 beers after this to get out of this. Huh? There were 6 adults here.
Meep. I would like the foamy barley tea as well. Could add 15 stop it variations right now.
You could. So I'm gonna say to that. Pre-owned sounds like code for orphans. I didn't think of it that way, but that is fucked up.
It was not meant as a code for orphans.
Oh my god. I don't want to say this because there's a chance that some kid is gonna watch this at some point and then actually uses that. But imagine if like you're adopted and then at school somebody tries to bully you with calling you pre-owned. It's fucked up. I mean, it doesn't really work because, you know, usually as a child you don't choose this. So like, you know, like why are you, like what are you going for? But at the same time it just feels very wrong.
It's like when you get a new party member in Miitopia and then everyone goes to dinner at Cheesecake Factory. What? I don't really get that, but I also don't see what's wrong with going for dinner at Cheesecake Factory.
Yes.
Because who doesn't want cheesecake for dinner?
Whenever the word orphan comes up and then with the right people, my wife and kids, I always say, I'm an orphan. Awkward as fuck.
I can just see the moment, like this little pause and then just, I'm an orphan.
Yeah, but like usually orphan as a term is used for children.
You can't be an orphan as an adult.
Why not?
Because you're, at some point you're expected
to be an orphan.
Have your parents die when you are older.
Yeah, but then I'm still an orphan, technically.
No, at some point, wait, what is the...
Oh, here we go.
No, I read about that a while ago, actually.
Andrick is probably against cheesecake for dinner. I don't believe that.
This is such a weird Google search.
Cheesecake. At what point do you stop being an orphan? Yes, Steve.
Is there an age limit for being...
That's something people Google.
Legally, to be an orphan, you must be a child.
Ha!
So once you have turned 18, you are no longer able to be orphaned. Because at that point you're an adult.
That is kind of weird. I don't know.
But yeah, with the term, no matter at what age.
Yeah! And Benjima, I will make sure specifically that every single member of your family will learn about this definition when I get the chance to tell them. Just so you know. Once you're 18, they kick you out of your orphanage. Also a thing.
That is also true.
Rika, please drink so we can get through this. Clip it, send it to his wife. At everybody, please be aware that Benjima cannot call himself an orphan anymore. Right.
You didn't excuse me, Tifa. My parents are dead. I'm dead now.
Hello, Bruce.
I just feel so bad for laughing.
At what point?
Huh?
At what specifically?
At the whole... I'm an orphan situation. But socially, it's still accepted, Benjima, so keep going for it.
So apparently sparkling barley tea more or less tastes like non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah, I don't know why anyone wants to drink it.
Also the Miitopia thing, it's just a little fun review of what's going on where everyone is happy and conversational. Just like this.
But then what is wrong with having dinner at the Cheesecake Factory? I'm still confused about that.
Nothing. It wasn't about it being wrong. It's just a similar situation. That's what it was about. Read your line.
I still don't fully get it, but it's okay.
I'll explain it to her later.
Rika-chan, you can't drink.
Nipa?
Anyway, Reina-san, let's get this moving. Yeah, I'm still holding my drink here.
Oh yeah, God, still.
Well, okay. Can I have everyone's attention, please? I was just gonna grab it. Oh, that's it. That was too loud. Yeah, you should have just pretended. I was just gonna do
You wouldn't have.
I was gonna do the fake thing because I've been telling you every single time that these sounds are really loud through the microphone and annoying to people.
We have a volume cap specifically for
Even then,
I don't
this is like
care.
the 4th time.
I don't care. I'm not going to apologize for living my best life while drinking before the thing.
You should. Alright everyone, excellent work on the Tatarigoroshi chapter. Cheers!
I can just see her read that off the card. Everyone, cheers!
Okay.
Yay! Okay then, let's get down to a traditional plot discussion.
Still though, this chapter just confused us yet again. Well, if anyone has an opinion, please raise your hand.
I have opinions.
Oh, everyone's being so discreet. No hands? Then why don't I break the ice?
Please don't.
Oh, excuse me. Could you change the music, please?
Please don't.
There's something a little more mysterious. Yeah, that's good.
Peak Tifa energy. If Tifa was a video game character, probably this.
Yeah, I feel like we have a lot in common.
And I hate it.
The mood has been set.
Talking about horrible things, does anyone else have a stream info buffer stream? Yeah, that's the new Twitch layout.
It's an update.
It. It's better because somebody decided.
New and improved.
Yeah, we hate it too.
Alright, Takano-san, take it away.
When are we gonna meet Taka? Yes.
I think that just by poring over the Tatarigoroshi story, the mystery won't be revealed.
You managed to make it sound like it was added in post. I think that just by poring over Tatarigoroshi, story of a mystery. Beautiful. Never change. I know what you mean. Obviously, that's how the story's been set up.
Was there something like that in particular? I don't know if I'm right, but in Onikakushi, when Maebara-kun was eating in the restaurant with Ooishi-san, Sonozaki-san found out and it was a little mysterious, right? It was certainly mysterious just in Onikakushi, but after reading Watanagashi, a few things made a lot of sense.
When I mentioned a restaurant with cute uniforms during the story, I must have had meant Angel Mord. And Angel Mord is owned by the Sonozaki family, so...
Shouldn't he have known that?
He didn't know it in chapter 1.
I feel like Oishi should know that.
No.
Especially for someone who is so into the Sonozaki family and what they all do and trying to catch them, you would know which businesses
Different universal. Nope.
Disagree. Have you seen The Godfather 2? I have not.
Nope.
There is ADR that is so awful in one part. It's hilarious.
It's when they redub the line.
Oh, you haven't seen any English show in Germany, have you?
It's the same.
It's basically that, probably.
A lot, at least. Not always, but sometimes.
Someone who knew Kei-chan was there too and told me. It actually makes a good amount of sense, right? That's what we mean.
There are subtle differences in the Higurashi stories, but I think there are 3 facets that are the same for each. The character settings, for example.
I was scary in Onikakushi, but that wasn't only because it was Onikakushi. It was because my character was the exact same in all 3 stories. Is that it?
I agree with the characters being exactly the same. The most extreme cases being me dying the same way in the same place every time.
No matter which story it is, you always die on the same day.
Easy money for an actor though, right? Like, if they keep paying you to do the same thing every show, it's like... I mean, as long as you're okay with it, it's like... Okay.
It's gonna be hard to get cast for new roles.
Yeah, but as long as you pay my bills, it's like,
There's a scene where during Watanagashi, Takano-san and Tomitake-san sneak into the ritual implement storehouse. The same scene may have still happened in the other stories, even though it wasn't portrayed.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like, maybe the true Higurashi is all the things that we see happening, like, kind of like in that one puzzle in Resident Evil where you have to like overlay the images.
Yeah, but then it doesn't make sense when things happen in every chapter and then slightly different. Then you can't overlay it anymore.
I'm just gonna reuse the footage. Tomitake is almost entirely stock footage. I hope the man gets paid though.
I think it still happened. Save for a few events, the weather the day of the festival, what we did in the club, and Satoko's uncle coming home, it's almost all the same.
Which means we have a bunch more questions. If the stories are told in exactly the same environment each time, why do they keep being so different? If we think from the perspective of a general adventure game in the suspense genre, sometimes the story branches depending on choices, right?
So in Watanagashi, the point where you do or don't give the doll to my sister? An unavoidable bad end from a choice so early on? That's pretty scary. Well, in Tatarigoroshi, maybe whether you decide to kill the uncle or not. I think it was way before that. I think it branched back when the uncle's cohabitant disappeared because of some trouble and he returned to Hinamizawa. Then what was the first branch in Onikakushi?
So wait, Higurashi is? Imagine if somebody played a visual novel mystery game but always picked the wrong choices? Is that what we're doing? I think that was when I appeared and started talking about the serial freak death incidents related to oyashiro-sama's curse.
You know, I just thought of something. If Keiichi-san gave the doll to Mian-san, and if Ooishi-san and my uncle hadn't appeared, would we not have spent our time in peace without anything happening?
I see. Satoko's gotten right to the point. You're right. You can't say that again.
Okay, please do.
Then maybe we should pray Ooishi-san and her uncle don't show up in this dark story. And then if we can prevent Sonozaki-san from getting in a bad mood, everyone will be happy?
The same font. But can you send it a bit faster next time? Because, like, it would be nice.
Yay, big sis, you're needed for the bad ending.
What a compliment. Tifa, you are my good ending. I hope.
Be careful, everyone. If you make my sister mad, you're sure to get a bad end.
Is this the whole happy wife, happy life thing just taken to an extreme?
Yes.
That's why I need to make it
taken to an extreme.
That's why I need to make a cake after the stream. Just saying.
What are you saying? Oh wait. Shion! Next time I'll make sure to be merciless in the pain I put you through. You can cry and apologize as much as you like, it won't work.
That's what we already did in chapter 1 though.
Just you wait! We can't solve any of the mysteries thus far, but we seem to have put together a plan for how we get the story to end happily.
I think the only way the Higurashi story is ever gonna end happily is if Ranger is not the true kobold.
There's a very small chance of that.
Are you calling Ranger small? I wonder if that would really make us happy. Oshi-san and Teppei Hojo don't show up. Mion-san gets the doll. Is that all we have to make sure of? You're right. We're all forgetting the most important thing. Remember the great Hinamizawa disaster?
You cannot prevent natural disasters.
I'm sorry, Smokey the Bear would have a word with you. Yes, you can. Only you can prevent forest fires.
Should we have everyone in the village put on gas masks and move away?
Yes.
Yes. She's calling him small. Oh.
Just wait until I get my lifted shoe thingy. I'll be 2 inches taller. So then you'll be 5'2".
Standing on my tiptoes. It's probably Oyashiro-sama's curse. So we need to make sure not to make Oyashiro-sama angry.
How do we do that? This is getting a little tricky. We mustn't anger Oyashiro-sama, eh? And what should we do in order to prevent that?
The dam project itself is probably out of the question. Maybe if there was never a dam project in the first place.
Yeah, just go back in time and fix everything, right? Easy.
That would be hard. If it didn't happen, we would need a ritual to quell Oyashiro-sama's anger. Anger. Sinking a sacrifice into the Onikafuji swamp. A ritual sacrifice. Sacrifice? What do we sacrifice?
The Colonel Sanders statue.
That bitch Betty from first grade.
What?
I'm just saying.
Wait. First of all, first grade. So she's like 6.
I don't know what first grade is for an age.
What is wrong with you?
Just saying something. First grade. Okay, fine, then let's go to 8th grade.
I would like it to be on record that when earlier I made statements about doing something in front of children, I was talking about drinking water. Tifa wants to grab a 6-year-old and throw her into the demon's anus swamp.
We forgot the grade system. Which age is connected to it. Come on, use your head. Someone who's destined to drop out from the story no matter what happens.
Oh, so we take Takano-san. Cool.
That also works.
Easy.
If he's gonna die anyway, then we may as well have him help out Hinamizawa.
She has a point. When you say someone who drops out no matter what, you're talking about me, aren't you?
Olivia's excited for first grade next year. Oh my god, no, that is so small.
Yeah, so
okay,
maybe
let's not take first grade.
A second. Let's just take these two.
When I said first grade, I was kind of thinking at least first year in high school age.
Yeah, but you said first grade, not first year of high school.
Yeah, to me that was.
And this is why many words sometime better.
Yeah, sometimes it is. Almost 3 apples tall.
Aww.
No, that's ranger size. I knew all along. I knew you had some very important role in this story, Jiro-san. I'll get you to play your part.
And with that, we have a blueprint for getting a nice, happy, good ending, don't we? Let's give it a try since we have time. Everyone involved, come over here.
Just one Subway top. But the one cut in half.
Why you all being on... Ranger, I want to tell you that you are a giant in my heart.
I prefer to measure in paces. Anything to not use metric.
Fair enough.
Ranger is like 4 corgi tails tall.
You all have issues. Y'all need Jesus. First, we stop Uncle Hojo, whose lover ran out on him, from returning to Hinamizawa. Hi, my name's Uncle Hojo. He has no portrait, so I'm standing in. I'm so lonely and blue because my lover ran away. Time to go back to Hinamizawa, lock up Satoko-chan and haha, race her into a maidservant. Why don't I take my motorbike back? I'll just put in the key and click. Click.
Kaboom!
At judgment, to ashes and dust shall you return.
Okay.
Satoko, don't you think this was a little too much gunpowder?
I think it was too little, actually.
I hope Coach is alright.
Sweet. Next we stop Ooishi from showing up. Me this time. My name is Keiichi, a hot, good-looking middle-aged man who looks like a blues singer.
Kaboom!
Big kaboom!
Yes, kaboom!
Yes, Kowalski, big kaboom!
Beep. Judgment for you.
You've been judged.
And lest we forget, a follow-up service for my sister. Come here, big sis. There's a cute little doll for you. Oh, how nice. Something about this just doesn't sit right with me.
Kaboom! Oh no, the poor guy. And finally, we must quell Oyashiro-sama's anger.
Then will our last actor please come up?
Tie him fast, wrap him up and hang him. He'll sing for 3 days, right? I'm not that patient. Let's just get it over with.
And with that, the case has been closed.
The end! Okay.
Oh no, all of a sudden this arm of mine is glowing with an awesome power. Austin power? This pile of corpses is a pretty big deal.
Just kill everybody. Oh, is this the Keiichi moment?
Game is book, music is Street Fighter. The music
I know,
has some really good moments.
With an Austin power? Yes. Apparently that's a thing now.
Austin Danger Power.
Was that his real middle name? Probably.
Huh? It's the phone. Hello? Oh, Keiichi-kun. Thanks for all your work.
Yeah. Looks like you're all having a roaring old time. And yet here I am, busy with reading the scenario for the next story. Or whatever. I'm in a good mood today, so I'll let you off without any teasing. Is she on there? Can you put her on?
What? You're going to announce it here? I wanted to keep it a secret for a while longer, but okay.
A secret between Shion-san and Keiichi-san?
What do you mean? Nobody told me about this. Nobody. Okay, Keiichi-san, let's say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3. The main character of the next story will be Shion Sonozaki.
What?
Why? What? Yes, so that's that. The one topping the popularity chart since her first appearance.
Of course she would.
The late appearing younger sister of twins being popular has been the pattern of things ever since the days of TH.
TH?
I'm not sure what that is.
The hentai.
Seems about right.
Just saying.
As I doubt I doubt real, but he says it's his middle name, so who am I to say he's lying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's a man of mystery. You know it. Just that the Swedish penis pump isn't his bag, whilst also having written a book about Swedish penis enlargers definitely being his bag. Yeah, sometimes you gotta be a little bit, you know, gotta keep him guessing. Everyone is going crazy for Shion fever.
Yep.
She's my favorite sister. I have no idea what that means, and it doesn't matter. Anyway, I've been fired from my main character post for once. If the rumors are right, I might even get a portrait finally. Yahoo!
Well, portraits of Kei-chan would be a big waste of disk space. If it couldn't all fit on one disk, there's a pretty high chance he'd be the first one dropped.
Oof.
Are you okay with this, Shion-san? The main character always meets some terrible fate in the end.
Well, until now. But that doesn't necessarily mean it will happen next time.
Every single game chapter Shion has appeared in, she has also ended up dead. Just saying.
So far, yeah. With Tatarigoroshi, we're already at the third game in the Higurashi When They Cry series. The first half presented a lot of strange and exciting mysteries, but starting next time, the mysteries will start to be solved in the second half, marking the start of the investigation arc. Temporary name. Wait, but starting...
Okay. So starting the second half of chapter 4, apparently we're gonna get answers.
Starting the second half?
Whatever that means.
Okay.
Are they self-aware? Arguably not. This is supposed to be like, imagine if the characters that you saw in the game came together like actors at a wrap-up party.
Yeah, that everything that happens is just like a play or something like that, and they just discuss the plot amongst themselves.
It's not considered canon. I do though, because I love that idea. Kind of like Super Mario Bros. 3.
This means it will be a thrilling story where I become a detective and solve all these crazy unfair mysteries. You'd all better think up good signature phrases. Like, "You, sir, are the criminal."
Sparkle.
It won't happen! Never! You get too close to the Tree family's secrets, be imprisoned, and then get tormented. You're a shoo-in to meet a violent, unnatural death.
Here, Shuin.
Sis, I should say the same to you. Are you mentally prepared for me to see through all your mysteries and secrets and then have you apologize to me and commit suicide?
In any other scenario, this line would be way too hard.
It's a Detective Conan catchphrase.
Oh, is it? I remember watching some episodes when I was a kid and it was on TV, but...
Don't think I've ever seen it.
The horrible thing, that's why I don't like Detective Conan, is it seems to be set up to never get a solution. In a way, it's perfect as a continuing story because stuff happens and then Conan starts detectiving and it's just one case every episode. Sometimes there's like a 2-parter or 3 or 4, whatever. Sometimes they do a movie. But the actual story never seems to make any progress. Also, how many mysteries can that kid solve? Like...
No chance of Oyashiro-sama's curse for me, is there? Anyway, the new story to begin the second half, temporarily called
Higurashi,
or Eye-Opening, is currently undergoing diligent development. We should be able to unveil it to you all in the near future, so I hope you'll look forward to it. Onikakushi, Watanagashi, and Tatarigoroshi. What truths will you all come up with after reading these 3 stories? Or will you just come up with more questions instead of theories?
Yeah, I will.
Reina has no clue either.
For all of you warriors who never yielded to these 3 mysteries and kept on fighting, we present you with one final scenario as thanks for your enthusiasm, one which we never originally planned on giving to you. Please enjoy it.
So, chapter 3 was supposed to be the last one?
No, they just added an extra chapter because of fan feedback, I guess.
Yeah, so chapter 3 was supposed to be the last one.
No, I guess they were supposed to make, or they were planning to make 7, instead they made 8. Which also would explain why the 4th one, which is the tacked on one in that case, is the shortest one. Alright. Hey, we finished chapter 3.
Another chapter done.
How many? 8. And this was the 3rd. And it's only taken us 7 months? I think.
Something like that, yeah.
Forgot when we started Higurashi. This is 3 out of 8. Exactly. Pling.
Which one was 3 the longest or the shortest?
3 was the longest, 4 is the shortest.
Okay. 3 surprisingly did not feel as long, but I think that's because of the break. So it just felt like we now spend a week on it.
Yeah.
7 months for everything so far? Yes.
I think so.
From the start of chapter 1.
If I had Discord open, I could double check, but I'm not sure. Actually, wait, I can...
No, you checked that last time.
Do I still have a file on the hard drive? No. I don't know when we started playing Higurashi. I want to say March? April? Something like that. So, yeah, it's been a while.
And it's still gonna be a while.
But then again, part of the blame for that lies with Tifa for abandoning us and me having to do solo streams. It seems like I do that because I have to. I do it because I want to, but could have continued Higurashi with her.
There haven't been that many.
Do you mean there haven't been that many?
Like 2 weeks maybe?
More like 3 or 4.
I don't remember how many trips I've gone on.
Actual game, Tifa ends stream early. Book, Tifa up all night apparently. To be fair, she was bullied into this. She wanted to call a night like almost an hour ago, but then everybody told her, bitch, get your shit straight. I mean, that was the energy. Tifa took it like that. If you like books, check out Beetlesaurus. Do it. What are you googling? Tifa's doing something. Callie got me a new book. I'm excited to read it later. Do it and then tell us about it. Books are evil. They are.
They are factually incorrect.
Yes. Nerd. Skinner, did you know that currently in chat on Twitch you're typing, therefore making this also a reading experience for everybody communicating with you, therefore making it kind of like a book? There you go.
But even though I now started yawning, I wanted to say as well that yesterday I went to bed pretty early. Also slept in.
Today,
yeah.
Yes.
I was thinking until what time, but I'm not gonna repeat that time. So I had some nice sleep.
You're not gonna repeat that time?
No, it was a bit later than my usual starting time at work.
Oh, okay.
It helps. I'm just saying, it helps.
I feel like kind of a broken record when I say every single time after Higurashi stream, but I'm thoroughly confused and I don't know where this is going. So I won't say it this time, but I would like you all to know that I'm thinking it.
Well, I look forward to finally nearing the question arcs, and I'm really curious on how they're going to do that. Because I have a feeling we're just gonna go through it all again.
I have no idea.
It's the only thing I can imagine.
I do not know.
So we're all going to watch Violent Night now. Violent Night.
I'm gonna bake a cake, because I have to. What theories do you think came true for this arc? I don't know.
That came true? No clue, I don't think.
And even if there was anything we wrote down that did happen in this chapter, honestly, I don't think I would consider them confirmed yet, because this Keiichi was relatively unhinged. So whether he just imagined that or if it actually happened, I don't know. For all we know,
that is true.
Maybe he imagined parts of his interactions with people. I do not know. I have no idea.
But I also wonder if things are really gonna get confirmed in the what's called answer arc. Some things maybe, but full answers.
I do not know.
I do not know either.
Also, I can tell you, Tifa, that the next chapter will not be the one that they mentioned. Because in Steam, which I've got open on the site, the next chapter is not actually Meakashi, which is the one we were talking about. The next chapter, Higurashi When They Cry, chapter 4, is called Himatsubushi.
But they said the name wasn't sure yet.
Yeah.
So it was probably supposed to be that, but then they put the extra chapter in between.
I have a feeling that the one they were working on, either they just changed the names for some reason, or that one got like pushed back and they put something in between. Which again would explain why the fourth one is the shortest. Like it was thought of later maybe? We won't know until we played it.
Mm. Well, we'll see. And what kind of cake? I don't even know what it is. It's
a spiced cheesecake.
Oh yeah.
Tifa bought one of those baking mixes. Where funny enough, all it really is flour and spices, I think. And some like...
It was super cheap.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So I had to go get like quark, like cream cheese and stuff. And then you throw in some butter, some eggs, and then you throw it in the oven, and then you've got a cheesecake. A what now? A spiced cheesecake.
It's speculaas.
Send me a piece, it'll bruv. I would, Benjima, but in order to make the cake, I need to read the instructions, and the instructions are kind of like a book, and you hate books for some reason. So you also don't get a piece of cake.
I forgot what those things... Oh, that's a long ass link. I forgot what those things are called, but...
Why are you spamming chat?
Well, to show what it is, but I don't know the English name.
It's like a caramel cheesecake kind of thing with some Christmassy spices in it.
It's not caramel at all.
Time-wasting art. I hope not. I hope not. I would not mind if they kept the pace that they had in Chapter 3. I feel like Chapter 3 it was longer, but it didn't drag, I think.
Sort of like Biscoff, but not the same. Bit different spices, but yeah, same sort of idea.
Yeah. Less caramel flavor.
Exactly. So yeah, Jack is going to make that.
Yeah.
I will keep you company for a little bit. But you seem shocked.
I didn't know if you were talking to all of these wonderful people or to me.
And then we'll be starting Chapter 4 on Sunday.
Yes. Nipa?
Can I press the button?
Let me have a look. How about we rate Mommy? Might as well still.
Can do.
Currently playing Dead by Daylight. Stream title: it's the jolliest of holidays. Time to play the Christmas event in DBD. Time to play. I don't know what that means, but let's ask him.
Gonna find out now. It's the jolliest of holidays.
You know that's the Star Wars jingle, right? Oh,
Is that from Star Wars?
Yeah, Star Wars Episode 1.
Oh, I do know the jingle. Didn't know it was from that.
It's not. No, it's.
Go with that banana. Yeah,
let's go with that banana.
What's up.
Exactly. So if you can't go with this banana on the rate in a moment, check out Mommy whenever it's convenient for you. Go on that. Go with that banana.
Go grab the next banana.
Exactly. And I don't know how to work in leash dogs. Oh, there's one thing.
German ones never fit.
There's one thing I forgot to say that I said earlier, but I wanted to work into the stream.
What?
Demon semen. Now let's go on that rate.
Pressing the button.
Not yet. Now you may. No explanation. It doesn't need one. Thank you everybody for higuring some rushies with us. We're back on Sunday with Chapter 4. I forgot the name, but we'll see it when. Stick around for it if you can see it. Bye!
Thank you.